about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity. It's all about humanity.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this playoff series for Group A. I am Samuel Initialize Hapgood, and I am joined by Demo once again as my color caster. How are you doing today, buddy?
Not too bad. Feels very reminiscent of last week, but yeah, when I seen it,
Isn't it
it's,
just? I
these
feel like
two
I've seen
teams
these
again.
before. I know.
Yeah, it's like, oh wait, hang on, wait a minute. Is this last week games? No, they're in playoffs now.
I know.
Now it's
Deja
for-
vu.
Yeah,
Well,
for all the marbles now.
Indeed it is. And on the blue side this evening, we have got Natural Summoned Killers Academy. It's Mental Gold in the top lane. It's Hillanders in the jungle. It's Curly in mid lane. Gragnos Baron at AD carry. And Byron Villa of the casting team, of course, in support.
And on the right side, we have Ward Saves Lights Green with I Am Towie guys in the top lane, Craft in jungle, Wakada Chewy in the mid lane, Bauer, and it's Stronger as your bot lane. But note the starter for WSL tonight. It's Stronger coming in as a sub. See if that will make a big difference. Not too sure, but
Well, could be
Time
a
will
risk,
tell.
especially in these playoff matches. And we've already seen a couple of bans coming through. Misfortune and Zyra off the table by NSKA.
So, do WSL miss bans because of this sub?
Looks like it.
Because
That's
of-
definitely what's going on.
Because your selfie too isn't.
Indeed, but that means
doesn't
that there
make
is a
sense.
fair amount more focus from the side of NSKA, as well as giving them a serious advantage in this first game, especially with the Jax ban against. Does love to play. That can be a bit of a frustration to play again if you're against in a side lane.
Well, the thing is as well, like at least being on red side, they will get 2 picks regardless. So, like, okay, you lose bans, but at least you get 2 strong champions. So, it's not the worst scenario if you're blue side. It's a bit more. It's a bit more like, oh, we're giving up, say like Zabrakan or something, or like at least Renekton or some sort of dive duo or some duo that they really want to pick up. We'll see. Last week was very, very close. Both junglers love to play like the Talia's, Echoes, stuff like that. The Ornn first pick coming through. Well, no surprise there.
Well, not at all. Such a strong champion. Has
Yeah.
pretty much everything you could ever want. It's tanky. Offers items to the rest of your team. It can do as much damage as an assassin, it feels like, early in the game if you can stack all those combos and those brittle procs. Yeah, very strong champion. Unsurprised to see it coming through as the first pick priority.
Very true. And I wonder if the Brom is going to be a priority now for WSL because, I mean, it's Stronger, I don't know if he has played too much Brom. Someone that didn't. Oh, there we go. Okay. Well, there we go. There's
Not surprised. There it is. It's 3.
And I don't know, maybe, okay. I mean, it is a very strong AD carry. It does avoid the Ornn ultimate. I would have thought maybe they could have went for top lane counter, tried to maybe hide. But then again, they could pick Zyra on the return, so Zyra is a good pick. Means they deny Zyra and they get the counter to the the Ornn ultimate. So, yeah, I'd say even though they lost 3 bans, they'll be very comfortable so far.
What it has meant, though, is that Hillander's jungle pool is very much open, and he may well go towards something like his Echo, which he looked superb on last week as well. So would be pretty excited to see him pick that one up.
Yeah, very true. Early Zonia's upgrade, from the Ornn and
Oh, yeah, good thought.
Yep, you called that very nicely. The Azir as well is up.
It is. That's a big one.
They could just take the top side of the map and just leave the bottom until after. Not really thinking too far. The Lucian's still up. That was banned from Gragnos and Mental God last week.
Yeah, it's very flexible for this team. A lot of people play it, but Byron's thinking about picking up his Nautilus, and there it is locked in. I mean, there is, of course, a chance that it's AP Nautilus, but I would call that fairly slim.
I was going to say that could be a good flex. It could be, it could be the Senna. It could be the Senna Nautilus spot. It could be the Nautilus in the mid lane. Definitely a very, very good flex pick to take third. Both teams, I feel like, will be very, very comfortable with the draft so far. They do have the choice now to take jungle as well, so the pool doesn't get necessarily pinched. Going to go for the Mordekaiser, something very safe. I've never really seen it have too much success against the Ornn, but...
yeah, I mean, the other problem, right, is that I've seen a lot of Mordekaiser picked kind of matchups, especially into some meta top lanes, like I've been casting a lot of the LJL. A lot of set into Mordekaiser, which set inevitably wins. Build Wit's End, it goes miserably. You're telling me it doesn't work that well into the Ornn. Mordekaiser's flexible, sure, but can sometimes end up in a bit of a dodgy, just soft losing matchup. Lucian banned, though.
Yeah, I mean, that does make sense. I don't want Gragnos to be on that carry pick, especially in the early game. They are going to be banned away. I wouldn't say that was surprising. I mean, it's very safe. I wonder if the Azir is going to come out now. That would make sense too. Just get the safety bans out of the way. You don't want to be in a position where you didn't ban the guy's champion that he is so good on, most comfortable, and you're like, we just went and lost it. Like, okay, we ban the next game. You don't want to make that mistake. You want to get out of the way. It's playoffs, there's no returns. There's that sneaky Yorick.
Yeah, Mental God does like that. And of course, Ornn is flexible as well, can end up in the mid lane. And yeah, for those who don't know, it's still on the Curly plays a mean Azir, so I'm slightly surprised to see that still up on the table. So
yeah,
Wakanda Chewy clearly being confident into that matchup. Kraft will not get his hands on Lee Sin, though, is very strong in that early game. And Echo, until he gets his parallel convergence, doesn't clear the jungle, especially well at sort of levels 1 through 3. So, that's probably a better way of putting it. So having something like a Lee Sin that could just turn up from level 1 and just start irritating you, not the most fun. So taken off the board before that's a problem.
Yeah, I would like some DPS coming out from NSK. I think that they need something like an Azir, because you do have a lot of protection. Caitlyn's really good too. Nice, a lot of range. You got double front lane in front of you. The Echo's going to irritate that Azir all the time. Azir would be good here.
Would be. And of course...
They could go for a Syndra. I mean, Orianna. There's plenty of options to go for.
And and of course there is still his Azir you were mentioning. I would be almost surprised to see him not go towards it. They are thinking about an Aatrox though, which would mean that Ornn is going to be flexed towards the mid lane, catching us out with the last pick. Yeah, we weren't expecting it though. Aatrox locked in.
Okay, okay. I mean, you have double front lane. You have Azir, Caitlyn, and an assassin in the jungle. Where my thinking is you just take the Azir and you outscale. Doesn't matter. Zai doesn't matter. Like, Sejuani's not going to matter. Mordekaiser's not going to get in range. Doesn't matter about the Ornn ultimate getting blocked by Braum. This feels like a very, very standard draft from WSL. They're saying, okay, like we have Mordekaiser goes 50-50. Okay, Victor, better wave clear. But also gets the free scale versus the Ornn, which I do like as well. So it's a lot of mind games going on here. Thinking...
There definitely are. And of course, we were kind of a little bit nervous about the Mordekaiser, but it does have a lot of strength. The ability to death roam the jungler around objective fights is so obnoxious. Think you've got this objective secured, and then suddenly your smites disappeared. Can be a nightmare. And for the side of NSKA, they've got pretty much all the disruption they could want between an Aatrox, an Echo, an Ornn, and a Nautilus. Whereas I would say for the side of Wood Save Light Green, we're seeing a lot of sort of relatively beefy frontline with a Sejuani, a Braum, and a Mordekaiser to an extent, with some pretty serious DPS actually between a Victor and a Xayah.
Yeah, I feel like both teams will be happy with their drafts if they get to obviously flex this on to the mid lane. They get to counter the mid lane with the Victor. They think, okay, well, you're going to put the Ornn, but I feel like having the Azir would be much better. It's just purely for the fact that the Aatrox versus Mord is more 50-50. It can go either way. The Mord can just get Seeker's Armguard and a set of tabbies, and all of a sudden, Aatrox doesn't really kill him anymore. Then again, Aatrox can get ahead if he gets Black Cleaver rushed. Mordekaiser can't deal with him anymore. We'll have to wait and see where the jungler's focused. I believe Kraft played the Sejuani in game 2. So somebody's definitely comfortable on, even though the Talia was available, but would have been a lot of magic damage, however. But yeah, both drafts seem very, very strong. Ornn, Aatrox, Nautilus, Sejuani, Braum. Yeah, it's going to be very heavy team fighting.
I imagine so. And specifically to Kraft on the Sejuani as well, we loved him when he was on the carries. His Talia was fantastic. His Diana in the last game last week nearly got them over the line, wasn't quite enough.
Yeah.
So just on the Sejuani makes me a touch nervous in some ways because they did feel like a little bit on Kraft's damage and playmaking potential. Sejuani does bring that element of playmaking potential because you do have that very heavy engage with your ultimate, but still have some slight worries when Hillanders gets his hands on that Echo, which we know he can just run over games with. So a little bit nervous about that matchup, but I will hopefully prove wrong. I think Kraft is an excellent jungler. We could see a lot out of this Sejuani. And if those ults are good, the fact that or that Chaos Storm and the Feather Storm can come over the top of it could be quite a lot of damage anyway.
I think they don't need to get baited into the trap of trying to gank this on mid. Like, has no mobility, we can gank him out, we have Sejuani with a lot of damage. I don't think they need to get baited into that. I think 2v2 would be very, very scary. I think Ornn and Echo could burst the Victor far quicker than what Sejuani could help out burst the On. I feel like you could probably just either alleviate pressure from maybe the Nautilus early game, who has a ton of damage, and maybe focus this top matchup. Just try and get the Mordekaiser ahead. Put the Aatrox in a side lane. I believe it was the Immortals match. It was somebody's Aatrox versus the Camille. And it was just horrible. Like, Immortals couldn't do anything with the pick. They couldn't do anything with the Mordekaiser. Couldn't team fight, couldn't side lane. And I feel like could be something very similar here, where that top matchup could be so volatile that the enemy top can't do either, can't match or can't team fight. So it's one of these volatile style matchups.
Well, we will definitely have to.
Yeah,
but
we'll
I
see.
did like that phrasing specifically of you said alleviate, which I quite like the idea that actually Kraft and the side of Ward Save Life Green are going to look to scaling, you imagine, with a Victor and a Zai. They're going to want some items under their belt. So if that Sejuani can find the good counter ganks, can keep her carry safe, can sort of influence that top lane matchup in kind of volatility in their favor,
Yeah.
SLG definitely have options. On the other side, though, I'm kind of looking at NSKA and I'm thinking, between the picks they have and the brawling they have, that bot lane better be ready for a dive, because the moment Ornn runs down, the parallel convergence comes down with the Chrono Bake available, we could see a lot of pressure towards that lane, maybe.
Yeah, and I'm thinking of scaling as well when you do have an Ornn. It does obviously help your scaling. And also Soul, depending on Drakes, like you now have to factor in so many different things when it comes to scaling compared to previous seasons. Where now you have the Soul. Is it going to be Infernal? Is it Ocean? Is it Mountain where you're tanky? Like Cloud's, probably the weakest. But, and then you've got the ornaments coming in, which are 1,000 to 1,500 gold per item. That obviously builds, if Caitlyn gets a Molten Edge, she's still going to be relevant at 3-4 items. Aatrox gets the buff to the Black Cleaver, for instance. Nautilus gets tankier as well. It's just all these little things build up. And it's just how the Victor, how the Zaya manages the team fights to see what scaling we have. I think it was it 2 games in a row last week that we had double Mountain Soul?
I think it might well have been. I would have to go back and look over that match history, over the Drake takes again.
I think we just had Mountain. I think we were just. I know Summoner's Rift is quite high up. We were certainly on a mountain range.
There's definitely the view over the edge, which gives that impression. I grant you.
So yeah, definitely. That Drake coming through. So we'll see. We'll see what luck. If it's fortunate. I think both teams would benefit from Mountain Soul quite heavily. I feel like Infernal too. I feel like Ocean would maybe be third in this case. I don't know. That's hard to say. I'm just thinking because they have Sedge, Braum, Ornn, Nautilus,
fair amount of tanky people. I mean, there's quite a lot of tanky people who would enjoy the stats on both sides here. I'd be unsurprised to see either one being pretty well appreciated by the teams. We're looking, I think, at a pretty early 5-man fan, I think is what we'll call it for now. Yep, no looking like any early engage right now, at least.
I will hopefully be in game very shortly.
You're slightly behind me.
Yeah, just loading in the old laptop, trying to catch up.
Well, that's fine. And I guess I'll keep talking now. I left some space for you. You needed me desperately. So here we go. Apologies for poor old Demo trying to get his way into this game as Kraft and Wakata Chewy just spot out the place in this topside river. But that'll be the end of all of that. Stronger and Byron Villa just around this bottom river. Byron on vision. Is Stronger happily standing in this bush though? Very happily. Not bothered by the appearance of the other sport.
Yeah. I'm just trying to think of ways.
No, it's okay. So, tell me a little bit more about main, right? That's from my understanding of you as a player, more than just a caster. So, what is your thoughts specifically of the Ornn and Victor match?
I mean, the idea behind Ornn is, especially mid, is that he's meant to control whatever lane he's against. So, your assassins, things that want to try and snowball away. So, Syndra, LeBlanc, Qiyana, especially those three. He just controls them, nullifies the lane, and allows himself to free scale, along with giving ornaments to the champions. And then this time, I feel like it's been countered very well. I feel like the fact that they have, we get free scale in mid, and they decided to take the Aatrox, we get the Victor for free. We get to free scale, and it will depend on how much patience they show. As I'm currently watching it through the stream, so there is some fortune to this right now, and it will probably most likely just be the first game I'm delayed to get into it. But yes, from watching the early laning phase so far, it will just be slow, and we'll just see how patient they are.
Indeed. Well, one big thing to call out though is the fact that Kraft managed to sneak in and take away Hillender's blue buff. Hillender's went for the red side clear, about to head over. Actually, there's a gank top lane, level 2 from this Sejuani. Does avoid catching anything but the flash. Does Aatrox, does get out alive, but Echo's going to feel a touch frustrated, realizing that he is shy of a blue buff. Good early pathing there from Kraft, who's back again. Going to be here at level 3. This Mental Go's trying to put as much damage on. Actually, Kraft's in trouble. Has to flash up, and it gets first blood, but it's turned around by Taui to at least get the return kill, but that is got to feel miserable in the 2v1.
Yes, if you get that turnaround for your early game, I was just saying about patience and how both teams can scale and just wait for third Drake, just start getting items ahead. And, if you try and be proactive in the early game and it backfires, it just really sets you behind, especially in a playoff.
We're back again. Taui's had to flash because Mental God teleported in. And Taui's just stuck around greeting to push the wave in. And in the end, Mordekaiser had to burn his flash to get out.
Yeah, doesn't sound like a great start. I will keep you updated on my client. For now, the stream will have to do, unfortunately for me. But yes,
slightly cast from the past. It's fine. I believe in you and your skills as an analyst to do it even with this handicap. We do this to our Valence League cast. It's how we train them up. Especially in the kind of bloodbath that is Group A. We've already seen a number of engages, some of which have gone well, some of which have not. Bauer being traded onto there by the long range. The Caitlyn is always a bit nasty into Xayah with her lower range.
Yeah, I feel like now that, let's see, across the board we have, 3? So top flashes are burned, so that was obviously a potential to re-gank again. We'll see if there is... I feel like if maybe a Winter's Bite lands, Q from Nautilus as well.
Going to have to pause you though, I think, because Sejuani is coming in behind as my client freezes as well. It's all going slightly wrong here. So they're going to... It's all going to come in. They do get the kill though onto Byron, who was just too far forwards. Sejuani put the control ward down, saw there was no vision, just went for it.
Yeah, sometimes, he's clearly playing with the game plan is that we're just going to try and get ahead of the game. That is it. There is no patience, we're not scaling. For late game 3 items, we're just going to try and get as many opportunities as we can. And yeah, it appears to be working with another kill coming through. And yeah, I guess the advantage is I can technically watch it as a replay. Byron had been forced to burn that flash.
There we go, thank you.
But we're getting the kill for free generally, He did make the right play, going for vision, obviously trying to spot out the jungler, but yeah, being caught out, burning that flash, going down. 2 kills to 1, I hope, as it still is.
It is still 2 kills to 1. It's a very quiet early game for Group A, to be honest. I was normally expecting at least 3 team fights by this point in a match.
They're doing my favour. It's fine. I appreciate it. I honestly don't know what's happened with the laptop. I don't know why it's letting me down.
It's fine. You're not letting me down, though, and that's the important thing. You're here. Unlike my normal compatriot of Nymera, who's not around this evening, has unfortunately got real-life problems. Kraft engages onto Byron, but it's a good dredge line to get him out. Call of the Forge God is bottomless, but Hilland is flashing in on Kraft, actually. Going to try and trade out, but the Blast Plant is there, and that means that Kraft takes a chunk, but Hilland just burns his flash without getting anything for it. Infernal Chains lands in the top side, though, which means Towie's going to take a fair chunk, but it's a decent Death Grasp to disengage. And the side of Kraft trying to start up this Ocean Drake, but Curly is here trying to pull people back. Byron's here as well, and they're going to force them off this Ocean Drake. Bit of an aggressive early start before anything else happens. NSKA now on to the Drake themselves.
Yes, it certainly sounds like a lot of action, but I feel, it's a quick discussion, I do feel like the early Drakes are bait most of the time. You know, you don't have to pressure yourself into fighting for them early on. You can wait for a third Drake. Some people even let third go. Because if you think of it as a single buff, it's not that strong. Not one Drake, you know. But when you do...
I will pause you because there's a Death Realm that's being called, and that means that Mental God will be in this 1v1 and coming up mostly on top until Kraft comes in, turns it around, and that means Kraft slays the Aatrox. Went too far. Good Death Realm, and while Mental God was at 10 CS, he's died for a second time now.
Yes, and I am in.
Congratulations, welcome.
Yeah. I'm glad I'm finally here. As we see, oh, okay, Byron goes down as well. Okay.
Yes, I'm actually slightly behind now, and Bauer with the side of it stronger did get in there. Alas, one of these days our clients will stay synced with the actual gameplay. But until that point, we'll find out the kills happen without us knowing about it.
The funny thing was, I had a look on the stream and I was like, okay, I wonder how many people are watching. I just see 55, and I'm like, oh, okay, not that many people watching considering the mistakes I'm making, but that's quite a lot. But I mean, the fact that Bauer is ahead, you know, you mentioned before that, you know, they want to scale with the Victor, with the Zaya. Now that he has 2 kills, he has that CS lead as well. Even though they're behind the Drake, it doesn't really matter. You know, top lane is pretty similar too, in terms of gold right now. 2.6, 2.5, so yeah, like, the game is going fine. And they are accelerating it slightly. And we'll just see what Hillander's going to do. He is on the Echo, he's level 5, you know, 0-0-0. You don't want to feel like the pressure's starting to build, but, you know, you want to start trying to get something done on the map and see if you can help out these laners and try and frustrate WSL.
Well, WSLG up about 1,000 gold and have also picked up a Rift Herald for themselves, so maybe they lost the early Ocean Drake, but it's always a nice consolation when you can pick up a Rift Herald, and they're actually going to try and force out Curly in the mid lane. Summon that Rift Herald straight away. I'm not sure Curly wants to stick around, desperately trying to clear this wave out best he can. That's a lot of plates down already. Hillanders is here, but I don't know if they can save it. Yes, the resistances are up, and yes, they do take down the Rift Herald, but only a single plate left, really, just over left on this mid lane turret. Good play there on the side of WSLG.
I feel like they could have used that better.
Do tell.
The reason I say that is because you just shared gold with 4 people there. Where your Victor wants to... So say for instance that mid lane tower goes down there, right? One more wave where he goes. Victor will now have to extend further for that CS, and Ornn will get to scale, I guess, slightly easier, but be further back against his tier 2. It's kind of like, it's kind of the same thing as... There's a lot of damage on top of him.
It is indeed. It's another one of these, and Towie's got that invincible up though. So that Infernal Train's largely invalidated there, but it means the Death Realm as well. Doesn't mean all that much. And Mental God up to about a 20 CS lead, in fact. I was gonna say absolutely is. So while the kills early on, the ganks have definitely helped Towie stay relevant in this game, this Aatrox is off to a storming start in terms of CS experience.
Yeah, considering you put yourself in this matchup as well, where you took the Mordekaiser, and I guess, yeah, the Aatrox is doing much better, but I mean, you even early ganked him as well, which obviously didn't help. I thought he would have went for more CDR, rather than try to rush Death Dance. Thought he would have went for the Black Cleaver, but then again, he isn't building much armor, there's no Seekers there, so I guess he can. normally is a nicer rush. Potentially could be a gank in the boss side. But yeah, so it's as I was saying before, it's like similar to if you take an inhib, but then have no other ways of pressure on the map. So you take an inhib, then they just get wave after wave coming in, they get that golden cut. It's sort of like that. Yes, there are still 2 plays there, but they have to be careful. That's how they manage the gold. I just thought they could have put that in the sideline, gave Bauer the complete gold, 2.5 hour plates, then maybe used it there. But we'll see. We'll see. The next streak will come up. And we'll see how they use the next Herald if they get it. If they do use
Infernal Drake spawning as well, which may well be a bit more of a contest. The side of Ward Save Lives Green looking to try and stack those Drakes early, because you're right, the individual Drakes not as strong as they once were. As another bit of a fighting up against the Aatrox on the top side. The individual Drakes not as strong as they were last year, but when they do stack, the power of the ocean, of the souls rather than just any soul, is particularly powerful. It would be either a mountain or a cloud this time around.
It's going to be mountain again. We're cursed.
Yeah.
We're cursed with this streak when there is an on and a Sejuani in the game.
It is always that problem.
TP coming in for Mord.
So I have no idea what's going on. You're going to have to play by play. I believe in you, my friend. Go.
Well, nothing happening so far. The Aatrox going to pop the opposite way. Is going to I mean, my FPS is so low, honestly. All I see is the 3 kills and the fact that WSL both have taken the Drake.
I catch up, but everybody's dead. What's going on? Aatrox is actually here in the backside.
So many kills going over. Okay, I mean, he has no ultimate, no flash. It's going to be a triple kill coming through. It's going to be a triple kill for the Aatrox. I wish my FPS was able to give what the viewers deserve. A good play-by-play cast there, but they do manage to get the ace. They lose the Drake, but it is 1-1. They're not going to be too fussed, but the fact that they got 5 kills, I don't think they're going to be too bothered there. 5 for 0, 12 minutes into the game.
Well, there you go. I come back in and realise everyone's dying as someone as Echo actually executes to the turret. So that's what I come back really in time for, is Hillanders looking stylish in the fight, dies instead to the turret. Braum is here though, and that should probably mean he can stick up the shield and potentially save this tower for now. But Infernal Drake did go to the side of Natural Summon Killers Academy, or WSLG. But Natural Summon Killers Academy did pick up the fight in response, which definitely pulls them way back into this game.
Yeah, it's going to be Cloud Soul that's going to be coming through, so not the unkillable team for one side, which I'm kind of glad. We don't have an unkillable Sejuani and unkillable, both supports too, so they're going to look to just knock down this tier 1 turret.
I think they'll probably get it early here for the minute. We're looking at the rest of NSKA desperate to get here. But no, Ornn's there, might actually be able to force them away. Well played by Curly. I thought that tower was done for sure.
Yeah, they do manage to respond in time. I thought myself they were going to be too slow, but yeah, it's going to end soon. It would be good to just maybe try and push. It is risky, but maybe if they see Ornn in the bot side, they could go for it with 20 seconds left. I don't know. Extra gold works. With the very last play thing, but yeah, Victor also got 2 parts to hit in the queue early. Okay.
Big Darkin Blades onto Towie one more time, but the Indestructible keeps him alive. This Aatrox now 4-2-2, by the way, with the Merc Dreads and the Death Dance, is a nightmare compared to this Mordekaiser, who's only at a blasting wand and some brown bags.
Yeah, and 1,700 gold down to boot. It could be another, Sunday performance where I did say, it's quite a volatile matchup in some senses, where if one gets ahead, they cannot control the other, and when you are this amount of gold ahead, putting the Shin into the tower over 20 CS ahead, and you have 4 kills to your name, it can be difficult. So we'll see. I do love that word alleviate, but I think it might be too late for Sejuani to start.
Indeed.
And just so surprising, I thought the early gank yesterday got the kill, but yeah, didn't go back, and I will see Aatrox ahead.
That may be true, but at least there are some options. That's a parallel convergence over the wall as they try to clear this ward. Might be too bad. Braum now stuck in the middle of everyone. Has got the stand behind me though, and the shield, and does get out to safe. Looked risky for a minute, but those are 2 very tanky champions, and a swift Arctic Assault from Sejuani meant that she got out of that parallel convergence scot-free. And Braum is Braum.
Yeah, very true. Dreadline also just missing from Byron's not listed. That could have been Death of Braum if I'd have landed that, but I also noticed that he went for Rabbis first, so doesn't have Leandries, which you would normally just easily build. Such a standard item for Mordekaiser to pick up, or doesn't have the Seeker's Arm Guard either, so not really doing himself any favours just yet, but okay.
Line comes through, that's going to be a fairly big amount of damage now onto this Sejuani, who wants to get Arctic Assaults away though, so is completely fine.
Yeah, Piggy safe. But yeah, 1400 gold is the lead, or maybe 1300, okay. And yeah, it's pretty much just on this Aatrox right now, so we'll see how they're going to play around with it. Maybe prioritise the Held and to maybe knocking this tower down. I don't think they need to. Maybe they could just potentially send a bot lane up just to shove in this tower, get a tower, maybe rotate for Herald as well, use that. Potentially mid, something like that. Also got to remember there's a lot on the line. With playoffs games, you know, players can sometimes close up, don't want to make decisions.
So yeah, as a reminder, guys, these playoffs are huge because the winner of this match will then be playing a best of 5 against the loser of the Group B relegation matches, and the winner of that best of 5 gets to go into Group B, which is a huge deal. So a lot on the line for both of these teams at the minute, and the new Drake will be spawning very soon. Cloud Drake's on the line, and a lot of very big ultimates that do love to be used on cooldown. Echo with Cloud Drakes is obnoxious, for example.
Yes, I think it was Perks that was playing it. He had like a 24-second ultimate.
Yeah, that's the one. Got to use it twice in a fight in his 1v1 versus a Gangplank. Just so, dumb.
You know, they lost, but he was taking the tower, to be fair. That's as obnoxious as it gets. And considering the strength of the champion right now, that's something you don't want. Okay,
All has got burned though, and that means that will not be up for this Drake fight, which has just spawned. The side of NSKA probably looking to use that best they can, as Aatrox now matching up into the Victor in the bot lane, while Curly matches up against this Mordekaiser.
Yeah. They are.
On to Wakada Chewy though, and the Whirlwind is burned, but I think that gravity field will pull him back. Just frozen in the air as I catch up to live there.
I was going to say, okay, so at least they know with the Fire Storm down, they do trade the mid tower, which is smart. Smart to do so. At least if you're going to give it the Drake, you get the gold for it. Unfortunately, the Walden is going to get more. They are going to get another tower top though, so yeah, what the gold value coming out from the double Herald, effectively getting them that tower mid eventually, and now this tower top. But again, gold going to be shared amongst 4 people. That's 113 gold each. If you had that, just say on your mod, for instance, Botlane recalled, you know, just keep that tempo going. Trying to use it as much as you can, but yeah, the gold shared in the end, and everyone getting a piece of cake.
There you do. There is still that trade for the tower in the mid lane though was pretty well done, and it is that Cloud Drake, of course, claimed by the side of NSKA. I want to say no. Yes, it was NSKA. Picked it up. I had a moment of madness and looked up at the scoreboard and knew exactly what was going on. All right, let's see how this continues to go. All right, the mid lane turret does go down though to the side of NSKA. Claim that one for themselves. That's their second tower of the game, and the mid lane turret is such a big one. Now, Curly still pushing in this top side. I believe Demo may have disconnected for a moment here. Wakada Chewy is picking up that bot lane tier 1 though, so there is still some return from the side of Ward Save Livescreen. Red side invade coming through for NSK, looking to make sure they have vision around as this Baron will be pushing, and actually also around this last remaining outer tower in the top side. And I believe you're back. Hello, sir.
I have no idea what happened there. I was too busy talking about how the gold lead is only 200, and that I wish the madness that was built was on Mordekaiser, but apparently it disconnected me. I have no idea why.
We're all dealing with technical issues this evening, apparently, it feels like. But that is a series of a number of towers. It was basically like 3 towers from the side of Kraft and, of course, Ward Save Livescreen, but NSKA picked up 2 as well. So it's looking very even in that tower straight. It's 3 apiece and only 200 gold in the lead, which is fairly minimal at this stage in the game.
Yeah, and here's me thinking it only happened in LCS and LEC they had technical difficulties, but apparently it happens in amateur scene too.
And Hillanders went in for a bit of a trade on this red buff, but it is going to be claimed in the end by NSKA, forced them away.
Yeah.
The threat of this Echo at this point pushing away Ward Save Live Green.
Yeah, and you might not think it, but actually, with the Caitlyn being up 300 gold, there's something I didn't expect, considering the lead and tower pressure that has been happening. But 203, only down a couple of CS, but yeah, the Caitlyn is ahead in gold at least. This, I wonder if Ornn, when he will get the second M, only got 300 gold so far, so as he gets level 12, he would ideally like to have both items by 13, but he's going to struggle to get those items coming through. But most likely,
CS, yeah. This Victor has done very well in a side lane, pushed his way up, claimed a couple towers, is looking fairly happy himself. On towards a Lich Bane, it's looking like second.
Yeah, and I actually like this item. I mean, ordinarily you would think standard would be to try and shred through the tanks, but the Lich Bane will give you a lot of power in the side lane. If they do plan to 1v1, which it looks like they are for now, and the low cooldowns of his Q and his E, he'll be able to get multiple procs with the Sheen. And yeah, we'll just see how he uses it. As he will, be able to just effectively do that sidestep. It just looks like he's going to punish, though. People rotating.
Yeah, they are. Crafts here, so is the Victor, and there is no tower. It does miss, well flashed by Mental Gold.
Yeah, and just sadly just pushing without pressure, but TP coming in.
They're coming in behind, yeah. It's a pretty short teleport, but it does get this Ornn in behind. Echo's dying on the other side as well. Oh. Wakadachru's got down the gravity field, and Curly has to flash out. That is the ace in the hole through, but it's blocked. Is that Call of the Forge got by a good door? And, of course, is disengaged by WSLG very well there.
He didn't have to flash. I mean, you have a Victor there, Sejuani and a bomb. Who's going to kill you if you're on? Just a question. Size pushing mid, Mordekaiser's pushing top right now. That is something we have to take into account with all this pressure. They're trying to make a
does get the tower as well by the looks of it.
Okay, trying to force pressure. Okay,
so engage, go down. In trouble. Takes a lot of time for a chrono break and gets Hillanders back. Craft, on the other hand, has no such luck and is just about alive. That is a sliver of HP. Flashed from the AD carry. Bauer is here, and Byron manages to stop the Xayah from chasing on and killing off members of NSKA. But Mental Gold now in the death realm. Can't get out of here. He's all alone. Desperate to get something. Dives over the wall, trying to get onto this Victor. Can't get anything, but does manage to get out somehow. So I thought he was dead to rights.
Yeah, it just uses the E. It just goes over the back and forth of the wall like he's Callista, and yeah, Drake doesn't go down. Top to 2 does go down, that's a lot of pressure, someone will have to respond to that, but just thinking of ultimates are up.
From a laser there. Ace in the hole is not blocked as well, so that'll be onto the Victor, who's not on a lot of HP, but does have the teleport available, which is such a boon when it comes to these fights. There's a ward
Glacial
in the
Prison coming up
to get as well. Yeah, Glacial Prison will be up soon. It's going to be a massive fight around this Drake. You feel parallel convergence I just heard coming down.
Already, there we go, 2 down. 3 down.
Yeah. And it is 3 down. Yeah, exactly. And once again, I'm just lagging out as the fights occur. It's such a nightmare. But this time around, it is Ward Save Livestream who come out on top. Triple kill for this Mordekaiser. We called it out as maybe not being the most effective, but suddenly, somehow, someway, he is very, very scary.
Yeah, well, when 9 ultimates are down, it's certainly going to go in your favour if the Glacial Prison comes up. But yeah, they managed to take the fight, get the Aatrox poked though. They somehow managed. I mean, both top winners have had extremely good fights around this Drake now, and yeah, it's going to lead them into a Baron and potentially could just decide game 1. So much pressure from that top lane getting pushed in. They tried to go for it, not quite able to, and yeah, we'll see how the game turns out now with when they go back and spend their gold. I mean, 1,000 to 2,000 on 5 members. Okay, I thought it was going to go down.
It is now a 5,000 gold lead, which is the biggest we've seen all game. And yeah, I'm going to look for those items coming through, and I feel they're going to be fairly significant ones. Yeah, that's an Infinity Edge complete. That's a Lich Bane complete. That's a Liandry's complete with a Seeker's Arm Guard on top.
Yeah.
Mordekaiser was on the top lane. Feeling pretty happy now on the side of Ward Saves Lives Green. NSKA desperate to hang on.
And yeah, just the sadness of this, never mind the madness, is the fact that Sejuani is 2,000 gold ahead of the Echo.
That's 50 CS for you.
Yeah, that's going to be hard to come by, but it's going to be a 1v1 in the top lane.
Yeah, it's not going to be a 1v1 for long, though, because Echo is here, and there's no tower here. Wakanda Chewy, desperate, trying to run away, has got the Paolo Convergence, but the Chilling Smite is there, and I think this victory is going to be done. No! That's wrong with the Zhonya's outplay. That was clean.
Oh, just managing to get this. I think it was his third rotation by that time coming in with the blue buff, but yeah, it does get him. And there you go. If that was 2,000 gold more on that Echo, that would definitely be a one kill towards the Echo. But yeah, now they get the solo kill, or yeah, 1v2, and get to push now. It's going for better worse for NSK at the moment.
It feels like it. Hillender's desperate for that kill there, went deep, but 2 Siphon powers from a Victor is more than enough to claim the life of that Echo, and that means that the push continues in the bot lane as IAM, Towie, and crew continue to push here.
Yeah, and even gets to push top lane after, doesn't get forced back, so he is able to keep up with the pressure. I mean, he is sitting on another 800 gold, potentially a Barca one coming in. We'll see. Just going to be an Anton. I'm glad he is buying the wards. I would love to see those refillables sold for more vision. Just keep it up in the jungle.
Yeah,
for
it's
WSL.
a big one. But the backs have come through. Base is not broken yet. And that is a big one. There is still some Baron buff remaining, but not a huge amount you'd imagine by this point. So they might have 1 more wave, 2 more waves. Have a quick glance at these guys and see how long they have these for. Yeah, not a huge amount more times. They might get a little bit on this wave, but I imagine the base will stay unbroken for this point. But it is still a phenomenal lead right now for Ward Save Live Screen.
Tell you what, one thing I'm glad there's not a Morello in sight.
Ha!
That's fantastic. I've seen far too much debate over that bloody item in the past week or so, and I'm glad
it has heated up, that debate. It really has.
Yeah. And I'm just glad that there is not one in sight. I'm thinking, well, can it be built? No, really. Hope they don't build it. Don't have to criticise, but yeah. I fear for the Aatrox as soon as Mordekaiser does finish his Zhonya's that I don't think he'll be able to win the 1v1. I don't know. He is very strong. Does have the upgrade. Is going to be, what is that called? Obsidian Cleaver. What a great name.
It is.
Potentially
really.
could still win it. I feel like if he went straight Visage over the Jarm's Fist, rather than, I do realise he wants the tenacity for the team fights, but having that Visage will obviously enhance the healing against the triple AP source that you'll be able to live longer in the team fights, and we'll just see Ornn does have 2 items now, Caitlyn 2 items, not too far behind. It's definitely still winnable.
Oh, it definitely is. Absolutely, those Ornn items can change things around. A Mental Gourd is a monster on this Aatrox. We can get on to some of these squishy members, but we've got a bit of an engage. Hasn't gone all the way. Bauer does plenty of
Storm.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, flash off of Aatrox, it's not the worst in the world, but could be a re-engage.
We got it. But he lands on a trap. Craft Arctic Assault onto that. Death Realm popped as well, but it's all going wrong. Down, great kill from the Echo. This time he wins that fight. And if we're continuing fight at the backline, Mental Gourd is running rampant in this top side. The World Ender is here. Towie does slay the Caitlyn though, but I don't think it's going to be enough because Stronger is rather deader, and Kraft is about to flash out. Towie though with a 1v2, and I don't think he has the damage.
The shield.
Throws the stopwatch down, and I don't think it's enough. It's an indestructible shield, you're right, but he's still shut down. 7-3 and 3 is this Aatrox. And he is more than ready to carry this game.
Yes. I mean, just as we're saying about, is it enough to come back against the Mordekaiser? Another top laner pops off. It just seems to be battle of top laners this game. It's not the junglers this series. It just seems to be whichever top laner seems to survive is doing the most. It's not the AD carries that are carrying this. I thought maybe the Victor surviving for long enough can the Chaos Storm surely just true to its name cause too much chaos, but no. Mental Gourd just having a phenomenal team fight, and leads them to get that soul. It isn't the most dangerous soul, and there is bonuses to both teams. And we'll just have to see. The gold lead is still nearly 4,000, so they do have that lead. But yeah, definitely, this game is far from over. And the thing is, it's only game 1, so it should only get better from here.
Very true. Echo now has a Lich Bane. Is still down a number. He's level 12 to Craft's 14, so has got a little ways to go before he's truly at parity back in this game. But is looking a lot stronger. It's the you talked about the Molten Edge on that Caitlyn. That's such a strong point of power. This Aatrox has got as well, really damn strong. And that last team fight as well, the Victor just gets put out as all that much damage. I'm not sure he even got down the Chaos Storm. And if that happens again, it could be a real trouble.
Yeah, he did, but he didn't get to move it. It was just on the Nautilus. That's what I was looking at. I was wondering if it was going to change anything, but at that point when it's just sitting on top of Byron, it's not really doing too much. It's not on top of the carries.
It's already too late.
Completed.
It's too late. WSL are going to win because the mental game has been won by the Braum with a superb blue steal over the wall. And that means that WSL just going to have tilted the enemy team now for Oblivion.
Oh, I did not even see that. It was too easy for me. It was too easy watching bot lane. It's too focused on the Aatrox. I was thinking of the status gauge, but that blue buff. I mean, shields will be up quicker. So
that's it. That's how you win this game. That's all it's going to be. And then if that's actually how it works, up in time to block an Ornn ultimate could be pretty huge.
That will change things. Yeah.
I'm tongue-in-cheek at best here as analysis goes. Don't take us being serious, but either way, it does mean that the blue buff doesn't get to go to the side of NSKA. And they're still fighting around, just trying to keep vision in their own blue jungle because the river around Baron is littered with red wards. Yeah, face check is going to come through. Yeah, it's going straight on him, and he's just about getting out. The Unstoppable does run away. The call of the Forge God is coming through. Return fire, and the fight continues. Craft is going very low, and this...
Tank.
We're looking overhead. Stronger is died. Hillinder slays the Braum. Mordekaiser is a 1v1 with Mental Gold one more time, but it's not going all that well in a 1v2, never mind a 1v1. Hillinder's is here, but no, the Aatrox does eventually fall, and Gragnos gets slain by an Obliterate.
Yeah, I honestly thought that was going to be a one fight. I thought if Crowley manages to survive, but yeah, they think they can turn it in. They choke, not able to. And yeah, the Mordekaiser's 1v2 at some points in that fight, and okay.
It is also as well, we're looking at as they're going to try and get on in the mid lane here, but nothing going on. Bauer is quite low, is kind of relatively at risk here. 3 carries from the side of WSLG who are alive versus only the Ornn and the Echo. The shove continues, but of course respawns are going to start coming through now to back away from that push.
Yeah, still has access to the Featherstorm as well, so it's not too bad. But yeah, this could potentially prevent the Soul. They've only got 1 ward in that red side, so maybe the 2 in the top side. Baron being up, not taken so far. Yeah, the game's still 50-50. I'm just thinking of items. The Morello has been built. To counter the Aatrox healing, I guess, yes, somewhat.
But what I'm a big fan of, though, is the fact that they built the QSS to cleanse his way out of the Death Realm, which is a huge one, because his Aatrox is so much the win condition for these team fights. And being stuck in a Death Realm in a 1v1 is not the AoE denial pick that an Aatrox can be if he's stuck in that space.
Yeah, and I'm just thinking, we'll see Caitlyn pick that up. Even the Echo will pick that up as well. I'm not really certain. And yeah, but these little things could make a huge difference if he decides to ult the Aatrox, gets out straight out of there with the QSS, and could wreak havoc on the next team fight. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see actually how much this Morello is going to do. How much healing it will cut from the Aatrox. He does have DS Dance, but he doesn't have Spirit Visage, so I'm not too sure. Isn't tanky, doesn't have armor, doesn't have magic, doesn't have the QSS and the treads, but yes, we will see. I was thinking somebody would be caught out, but yeah, not quite yet.
Yeah, well, either way, we're looking at the Cloud Drake spawn here. This is Soul Point for NSKA. The side of WSLG desperate to try and stop it up, and they start this, by the way. Mental Gold gets a fair amount of damage with his Darkin Blades over the wall, but that does mean that Kraft does manage to clean out the pink ward. But NSKA coming around this corner, looking to set up. Dragon going down to half HP.
Gonna get 5v5,
Convergence is coming through. Are they going to go in? Call of the Forge God is here as well, but it is blocked by the Braum shield. Stolen by Echo, who gets in there. That means Cloud Soul, and it's all going wrong now. Bauer has slain Byron Villa though in the backline. That dive frozen up again. I can't tell what's going on. Looking like a bit of a fight that's continued. Echo convergence off, and that's pretty huge. Double kill for this Zyra in the backline though, and Towie with that Darkness Rising claims the last of those kills, and it's a clean ace for the Cloud Drake. Not a win in the books for the side of Natural Summon Killers Academy. They die towards Civilized Green, and the death time is so damn long, they might just look to try and end the game.
I'm pretty sure they will be able to. I mean, it is 18-13 on the support. I mean, this time Mordekaiser doesn't ult the Aatrox, does go for the Nautilus, doesn't get out, but maybe they go for it. I mean, 8 seconds on the bot lane, 3 seconds, they might just be able to end it. A lot of damage from the Lich Bane.
Yeah, the depth charges here. There's a lot of damage here. It's late enough into the game that you feel it's going down. The Nexus is already at half HP. And yeah, that's going to be GG. Well done, Ward saves Live Green. They pick up the first win in this playoff series.
Yeah, and just that last team fight, they did tunnel in. It was sort of like a TSMC 9 sort of scenario. The Firestorm coming through, the Chaos Storm, the Glacial Prison, able for the Bromalt as well, just all sort of tunneled in a line, thinking they can take that fight after they get the steal on the Drig, but yeah, not enough. And yeah, it was a very back and forth game, but WSL were able to pull out in the end. And yeah, I think it's so close. There's still so much to play for, and yeah, definitely not over yet.
No, it's definitely not. There's still potentially another 2 games to come, but the advantage for now at least lies with WSLG, and we'll see you right after this break.
If we are one grain of sand in the middle of the ocean, can you try to
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to this playoff series for Group A. Currently, Natural Summoned Killers Academy are falling behind 0-1 towards Saves Lies Green, who picks up the first win in that game of some pretty good dragon fights.
Yeah, and it just seems to be both top laners were popping off. Every single fight back and forth. One was getting a triple kill, the other one's getting a triple kill. Unfortunately, that last fight, the deciding fight, yeah, it's NSK just seemed to run head first at them. All the damage was landing, and yeah, unfortunately for them, it ended in a loss. But now that we get the 3 bans for WSL, which they didn't the last game, even more of an advantage, and they get to take away this Echo.
Yeah, they do get rid of that Echo. Hillanders, even when he did get a little ways behind there, we've seen him look fantastic on that champion. So that wasn't his best showing on the champion, but we know that can be a thing. Zyra taken away as well, focusing at its stronger, you imagine, who is, of course, a substitute, has some, may have some teething problems coming in for the team because he's not necessarily playing with them all the time.
But yeah,
Yeah, what do you think of this family?
Yeah, I just wonder if any other bands are going to come through. Like
Attention is
any
it, of
different
course.
bands.
I still Lucian makes a lot of sense. Mantle Gord
There you
plays
go.
that big time.
Yeah.
I think Curly does too. So just taking that off the table makes a lot of sense.
Well, I mean, in some yes, but in some because they didn't first rotation it, even though it was up, they left it. So they could have just done the same. They could have prioritized something else. I mean, maybe they are really scared that they will take it now. But no, it was banned second rotation, wasn't picked in the first 3, so maybe they could have left it. But yeah, we're going to see Bowers MF taken away as well as Zyra. I mean, Zyra is underrated. A few people that I speak to always raving how good she is. But yes, we will not find out this game. Probably not this series. Is the Braum taken away as well? They don't want that.
No, they don't, and
No,
that maybe
we
that's going to be
can't.
they're trying to aim at an Ornn first pick here if they remove that, and that's what's now removed to prevent that coming out. So it does force the Ornn ban. I'm curious to see what first pick here will be for Ward Save Lives Green.
Maybe Zaya.
Zaya would make a lot of sense. Power did look pretty good on that. Gives a lot of safety as well. And when you're kind of with a laning
Mordecai
partner
is
you're
okay.
not so useful, or you're not so used to, having that option is a good call. And you called it. There it is. Zaya
Oh.
first pick.
Talk about being a call caster. Yeah, so they could respond. I mean, they'd be thinking, oh, do we have to take Rakana or do we just take something like a Leona?
Yes, just
okay.
look straight in.
Get
That's
again.
good. That's what we're talking about.
Oh, okay. We're all going
He
to get
had
some
some
spiciness.
Stunning games on that last week on the Yorick. I think he's a great player. This champion could do some dumb things. And we'll definitely call out WSL in finding some kind of counter thingy. Hilland is going towards the Amumu. And this
Oh
is,
my
of course,
God.
an Amumu that is, I want to say, post-massive bust, but also post the kind of hotfix nerfs because he was so damn strong for a while.
Yeah, well, I know that you want to be loose. You want to try and be comfortable in a playoff series. You don't want to get uptight. You know, you want to be on a comfort pick. You pick your pick. You walk in a moment. You're like, we don't care about Rakan. We get what we want.
He is, of course, so strong on that front.
They go-
Amumu as well, because just with his ultimate, just offers so much wombo combo. Sadly, Misfortune is off the table, so no returns to Season 2. No returns to Curse of the Sad Bullet times. As I think I may have DC'd possibly a little here. We'll have to find out. I'm losing out on who's picking what here.
Oh, you don't have to worry. The Rakan's been locked in by Kraft, which obviously goes to stronger. The Jax is going to be picked up. Okay, so Jax versus York. That is going to be a very exciting
I'm not
match.
sure if I'm hearing AB. I think Demo might be gone. I may be gone as well. The
Oh.
chaos continues with the technical specs.
Oh,
See, there
okay.
you go. I have returned. I can hear you again.
Okay.
I suspect I may have had a bit of a blip with my internet connection.
Okay.
Do
I was thinking I hadn't gone anywhere. I was like, okay, well, I mean maybe.
No, I think this time it was me.
Well, the Jax has been locked in, so it is a battle of who gets the
Oh, there we
Triforce
go.
first.
That's what we're talking about.
And yeah, we're gonna have the Leona as well. I was thinking that they see the if they think okay, we'll let them have the Rakan, we'll just take the Leona. We'll pair it with the ADC. But yeah, there is a potential to ban away. 2 mid laners, 2 ADCs now. Potentially give themselves a really good matchup bot lane, something that they can scale very well into. But yeah, maybe the Caitlyn getting taken away with the Jinx. Okay, Orianna for the Wombo with the Leona. Very, very safe and sensible ban as well. And yes, we'll just see what NSK prioritise and think, what can we get rid of right now that will make our life miserable? Diana,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, Diana is the ban out here, and that's a fairly big one, you imagine.
Okay.
There is, of course, still some things that got to think about. The Diana was something that Kraft played last time, remember, in the jungle, and looked pretty good on. Couldn't quite carry his team over the edge, but it is a very strong pick. And I imagine to an Amumu as well, the fact that Amumu does take a little bit of time before he's impacting things. Diana, we get the free early clears to get online, and there is that Azir ban for Curly, who does love that champion.
Yeah, they do get the pick of the AD carry, though. They don't, that's one thing that Greg knows will be happy about, and obviously they get counter back on mid lane as well. Seems like a very good draft. I mean, I would say that's slightly risky. Obviously, she is if Leona is anywhere, but right beside this Jinx, she will potentially get blown up by the Rakan plus follow up, or Rakan and friends, you could say. But I find the Diana ban slightly interesting. The fact that it is into Yorick and Leona, it would be very risky to go something like a Diana. But okay, I was going to say, I love that pick. I think
Massively
that's a
true.
fantastic
Yeah.
pick.
Into an Amumu, you assume will be building fairly tanky, and Leona, of course, also going to have a lot of those stats you can steal away. So Trundle has some options there. Thinking about a Bard pick here, but that seems stupid actually because there's a Rakan locked in already. Malzahar makes a lot more sense and is locked in the mid lane. Super hard point and click engage.
Yeah. Just to go back to that Trundle quickly, like the fact that he can, as you say, steal away the stats, but okay.
Looks like there may have been a bit of a mistake there in the draft. I think it looks like someone actually has quit draft there.
Yeah, looks like it's stronger, isn't strong enough, and has left the lobby.
Client has just got confirmation of that.
Oh, yeah, not the only one.
I know.
Yes, we are human. But yeah, I mean, the Trundle makes sense. Can also slow down the engage of Leona, steal both of their stats, who will be very tanky later on. Even the York, if it is a 1v2. With the gank in for the Jax. And then, Malzahar comes in. Very hard to punish. If Amumu goes in, gets ulted. And, I can see this being a very difficult battle for NSK, unless they have something up their sleeve with the mid lane.
Yeah, I'm going to assume we'll be keeping those drafts. That'll be for the referees to decide, though. That's not us, other than the casters' spectator area.
I presume they will. I don't think they would.
If we got to choose, we'd have some very odd drafts because, like, I would be just wanting for all the amazing team fights to be like, no, just stop fighting for the first 5 minutes. We were all fair, and he's like, why? Why can they not stop fighting for the first 5 minutes? I want to do color points, and can't do that.
Well,
not in Group A, my friend.
If you're in SK, you do want to get to 6. So I hope and pray that they do not fight pre-6. But then again, I was also thinking about the Trundle. I think it was Jack that was talking about this as well. Trundle is extremely good at taking single target objectives. Obviously, you have Herald, you have Dragon, as well as single target camp. So if Amumu is sort of struggling to kind of hobble through his clear and try and get to 6, there is a potential for the early objectives to be taken by the Trundle, and something we'll have to look out for. As we get into the game.
We did get confirmation as well. There'll be same picks and bans up until the point of boom, as it's been termed. But sadly, it's stronger, just disappeared. Had a client crash. I've had to repair my client already once this evening. That was partly what was going on with my technical difficulties. So I'm kind of hoping that's largely been resolved. So it feels like a bit of a thanks Riot moment there.
I'm hoping I get into game.
That would be great. That would be great. But yes, we're just going to go swiftly through all this stuff. And I'm praying you stay around as well, because you never know. I'm hoping my problems are fixed, but you never know until you try it out. And this is the tryout, so I could end up just be like 30 seconds behind every team fight, and that's a great joyous play.
Yeah, I just think Travis Day and Sir John Jones so just kind of face palm right now, thinking these casters.
Why have they got us in? Who thought this was a good idea?
Oh god, okay, the guy with the no FPS and the other client crashes.
Well, it should be repaired. I trusted in that. We find out. But yeah, no, of course, same bands coming through. It's the Zyrakan, it's the Jax, of course, for WSL. With the Yorick, it's the Amumu and the Leona. And that is the Victor ban. We're assuming this will be surprise, the Azir ban over there. Oh, they've gone for the Orianna this time around, so that will be interesting to see how it goes. Diana is out.
Yeah, and nothing, out of the ordinary. Wobble combo mid lane bans. The only pick we don't actually see is the counter into this Malzahar. There is things like the Syndra, who can bully the Malzahar. There is also potentially even something like a Corki. I mean, with the front line you have,
Thinking about
Okay.
the Veigar pick here is a lot of AP for it. Can
Okay.
definitely blow people up, and that baby cage that's like 2.5 seconds of CC on what's like a 16-second cooldown. If that is ridiculously powerful as a basic ability.
If there are not 4 pairs of Mercury treads on this WSL lineup, I'm going to be very unhappy. But I don't know what the difference that might make me being unhappy, but yeah, there certainly
So
is a
you
need.
get the disapproval of Demo. That's not great. You don't want that. On the other side, though, for NSKA, they've got to be thinking pretty heavily about some early QSSs. Malzahar does tax you for that. Cleanse won't work. You can't cleanse the suppression. You need that QSS. You need that magical silver sash. And I have to think about that one.
Yeah, and I'm thinking, at least the carries will obviously have to build it. I mean, there is no doubt about it that Jinx and Vega will have to pick up at some point. But then again, even if Amura does go in, finds himself, he's going to be feeling pretty rough. If he gets altered by Trundle, knocked up by Rakan, altered by Malzahar, it's going to be pretty rough. But then again, if all of that disruption is going on, how much damage is Jinx doing? How much damage is Vega doing? So, yeah, there is obviously ways around it. And we'll have to wait and see. These teams, I mean, across the 4 games we've casted now, has been incredibly close, can go either way. And, every draft that goes by, I don't feel like there is a winner. Both these teams seem to know how to play their own way. And yeah, we could be in for another banger. We'll see.
Massively true. We've got Split Pusher versus Split Pusher in the top lane, and then what looks like to be sort of 4-man team fighting combos. I think the Amumu and the Leona is pretty heavy engaged, a little less on the side of WSL, but they've got that kind of joy of a point and click CC in the Malzahar. They have got the Rakan engaged, which is pretty good as well. So I'm expecting those 4v4 team fights to be pretty massive.
Yeah. And that's the thing. People think like Malzahar is just an R-bot. Like once he gets Leandri's Rallies and Luden's Echo together, and he puts a Q across multiple people in a team fight, the 3 second on his Q, the silence, it is so oppressive. The slow, the burn, even the dot from Luden's popping, around team fights getting that every 3 or 4 seconds, it can do a ton of damage, and it is something that they need to be careful of. It's not just about the R. And,
we've all experienced the plague that Malzahar puts down, getting a complete team wipe towards the end of it. Does have so much damage over time, that champion. It can really push people, especially in that late game, with just the amount of, like, the Malefic Visions, I think it is, just puts out that much damage.
Yeah, not that I've ever played the champion. Not at all.
No, you've never abused that at all.
No. I would never do such a thing. I would never know that in the first place with those items. But yeah, I mean, even with the R, you can cleanse it, but it will still follow you. The damage will still go through. So it's something you're wary of. You're running away, and it's like, wait a minute, I'm still taking damage here. So
yeah, you can QSS the CC, but that pool on the floor is the bit that actually does the damage, and you don't get to make that go away. So the ult can definitely stick you in place, and while you can get rid of the stickiness, the damage isn't going anywhere. On the other side, though, Veigar is another one of those ridiculously scaling mid laners.
Yes, can get 500 EP so fast. And it will depend. I mean, this mid lane matchup can also be very, very volatile. If Malzahar can just get the shove, if he gets a lost chapter, I don't know if both of them will go Glacial Augment. Not too sure if either of them will go it. But yeah, so as I'm saying, if Malzahar gets the opportunity to roam along with the Strundle after 6, can affect the top matchup, try and help with the Rakan and bot lane as well. It could be very, very dangerous. The same with the Veigar, roaming with an Amumu. You don't want to walk into a river and see that. So we'll see if either of these mid laners can start to roam and affect the map. And I feel like, it is down to AD carries and mid laners to have their say. The first game was all about the top laners every fight. And we'll see if anyone else wants to chime in on trying to carry the team to the next round.
Big time, and I'll be keeping my eyes on Gragnos Baron, particularly in a lot of these fights. He's going to be desperately trying to keep himself safe. Xayah, of course, has her Featherstorm. It's much easier for her to stay alive. But this Jinx, so much volatility. She gets going, she gets excited, can definitely turn things around, get run over team fights. But on the other hand, if that Malzahar flash ults her and she has no QSS, could absolutely get deleted very quickly.
Yeah, very, very true. And she definitely does need items. I remember Freak talking about it. It was Jinx that her base stats are, I think it's one of the lowest across like 80 carries in terms of scaling. She really does need items to come through to really push. the team fights. So, taking fights early, even though you do have the Leona baited, you have to be aggressive. You can scale. As I was saying to you before, we went live again. That I feel like if both teams can try and wait till at least they're around 6 to start making plays, it can be more calculated and leads will be more earned rather than playing off mistakes.
Big time. Well, other things to keep an eye on outside of that very sort of risky, explosive team fight will be, of course, the Jax versus the Yorick. Trinity Force Pusher versus Trinity Force Pusher. Could definitely get a bit interesting in that top lane. I imagine there will be a fair amount of attention shown by the junglers early on up to that lane.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, surprisingly, Aftershock on Trundle. Can he?
It's a bit of an unusual one.
I mean, he can't proc that with his.
Will the pillar count as CC?
No, because it's not. It's a slow, but it's not.
It's a slow. It's a slight displacement as well. Of course, if you land it on people, I suppose we'll find out. I believe you probably can. If not, we'll find out very shortly order, and that will have been a bit of a mistake by the Trundle
after
players.
immobilizing an enemy champion. So it depends what they're defined by immobile.
Well, yeah, again, I don't really see Trundle take that rune, so just a new experience for me. We'll keep an eye on that. If someone does know and wants to ping us, that would be amazing. Otherwise, come and join and learn with us. We'll find out at some point whether he gets those procs or not.
Yes, you can also tell me when you're in game, if you aren't already.
I am in game.
Sad. Oh, okay. Well, I'm in game. Wow. Okay.
Congratulations, welcome. The lane has just started.
Thank you. I'm so proud.
People are here. Amumu is starting his red buff. Trundle is starting his wolf camp. He's starting for a leashless start, is the Trundle. But Byron gets a stun off onto this Rakan. Doesn't get that much
damage.
Actually, wow, so much damage on the Rakan. Has to burn the head against his blood. This Jig is going to run down as well. And the Bower may have to flash out here. Can Byron get anything else? No. First blood cleanly picked up by NSKA. The stun from Leona, so oppressive, and it's stronger just oversteps.
Well, I'll tell you what, Initialize, that is the perfect start for this Jinx. I was just saying that she does need items to be relevant. Pick up the first blood, yeah, we can't just overstep and could have waited till 2, they are strong. 1, could have waited till 2, maybe try and push for it to go in. But yeah, I mean, you're talking about a bounce back game that you really need since you're in playoffs. That's the perfect way to start it.
It did cost them 3 summoners, though, including both flashes on that bot lane. Rakan still has his flash, still has his ignite. Bower still has his flash, so there is room for a turnaround, but it's a great level 1 there from the side of NSKA.
Did you see Rakan still has his flash and ignite?
He's still got his flash and ignite, yes.
Does he?
Looking at my screen, he does, but that's not to say my client isn't still broken.
Huh, I figured both are down, but I mean... it'd be weird for me to think that Rakan's flash is already halfway off cooling, because then they just... Yeah, I don't know, I think something's bugging out here. But anyway, we'll go with the 4.
Yeah. Looking at the minute, it looks like Rakan hasn't burned off my client. We'll find if he does flash, we'll know I'm wrong. It's the basic response.
Well, if he doesn't,
trusting my eyes at the minute is a bit tricky when it comes to this client. Trundle is looking to come around for a wraparound gank, though, maybe. Did throw the on-the-way ping, but is going to back out there. Top lane trading back and forth. It's corrupting pot starts for both, but there is a biscuit in an inventory of Taui who is forced away. But actually, fight over the Scuttle Crab. Crab flashing into the pit, but he's flashed into the pit. Has nowhere to go, and he did proc the guardian, the aftershock there. So that's the answer to your question. Yes, he does get to.
Well, maybe he's flashing into game 3.
Maybe.
I don't really know, but yeah, 2 kills on Jinx.
So never mind, Zenith played in here. Amumu, it's a good turnaround from the Xayah. And that trade back with the Ignite was pretty huge, and the tower shots on top of it.
Okay, well, I definitely know the Ignite is down for Rakan.
You do, it's definitely down. It is. Flash is down for the Xayah as well, though.
Yes, Flash is down. Jinx has heal, but it's just... That's the only summoner on the bot lane, so, I mean, I presume both junglers will be looking to go down there, but yeah, it looks like the Jax is going to get the better of that trade, as he's just trying to smack his way out of the wrestling ring. Oh!
Yeah. It's just going to be fairly even so far. Nice little trade back by the Yorick there to ensure he gets some damage down. The joys of that. The Blast Bites and the Morning Mists are pretty powerful choices and abilities for him.
Yeah, I remember it was the Victor that was against the Yorick last
It
week, and he was
was.
trying to kill those ghouls. Oh,
Oh, it was a nightmare.
Yeah, I just was not having much fun.
I do enjoy the puns in Yorick's kits. The fact that it's not last rites, it's last bites, which I just really find very amusing.
Or it was Mordekaiser versus Yorick, so it was like the Death Realm versus the Gravedigger. It's like, who's kind of in the favour here?
Very
Yeah,
true.
so-
Looking at a fairly significant CS lead in this mid lane, though, the Malzahar up to about a 13 CS lead here, which is only going to grow currently, it feels like. You talked about the ability for Malzahar maybe to shove in this Veigar early, certainly playing out that way so far.
Yeah, well, he only needs 2 more lanes, and he will have enough gold for the chapter, and that it won't stop. It won't slow down. Just keep going. We'll just get more and more oppressive from the Veigar to try and use his Qs, because obviously he wants to buff up that passive. He wants to try and kill as many creeps as he can with that Q. To try and get that ability power up for free. With Malzahar shoving you in, it makes that very difficult. But yes,
Massive lead though in the bot lane though. That 2-0 Jinx got to go back and pick up a BF sword. It's just a long sword in return for this Xayah, who's only got like a tier 1 boost to try and run away. That's her best bet, it feels like, at the minute. This Jinx definitely going to sting. But look where Trundle is in the alpha, going to come for a gank. Remember, Jinx still has no way out, but Leona's going to try and turn it around after
There's a Mumu. Oh.
Here's a Mumu, but the teleport's coming through from Jax. Possibly actually the Malzahar. No, it is the Jax. And we're looking at him coming up. He's got the counter-strike running, the dodge though, and that's going to be the end of that. Teleport burned from both. The Malzahar to get back to mid lane is there, and of course Jax burn his to get down, and that means a free push for Yorick, which is a terrifying thing to give over.
yeah, I mean, and he didn't have that teleport either, so he couldn't respond. Veigar could, but it has no mana, so yeah, it was going to look like a pretty free trade.
But
Yorick is gonna get-
the Mountain Drake though. Are the side of Kraft and his ward saves live screen starting up there. They're going to continue with the bot lane of Bauer and Stronger, and they have slayed it. Despite that teleport not playing out to any kills, the pressure they put on the lane meant that they could rotate over and claim first Drake at just over 7 minutes.
Yeah, and it is something. Okay, you are down 1,500 gold already, which in this early game is huge, especially for the confidence levels. And we'll see how that plays out. But what is the next Drake? Actually, I'm just gonna have a quick cover. See, so it is Inferno. Oh, okay, so we're gonna get Ocean Cloud again. Hope it's not Cloud again. Just come on.
Give us something else.
Please.
Mental Gord coming out on the worst end of this trade with the Yorick here, or sorry, the Jax here, I apologize. He's going to try and get out. There's going to be the jump yet, flash in for the kill there. Jax stacks up, Conqueror has the Tiamat, and there's a suppression in the mid lane. The baby cage comes down though, that means the flash out does save the life of this Veigar, but unfortunate stuff for Mental God there. Did get taken out by just the Conqueror from Jax being so oppressive.
Yeah, and I think he was on the tower as well. I wasn't too sure. It looked like because of the the opposite side
I
of
don't
the
think it
lane,
was. It wasn't even on the tower. It was just damage.
Oh, because I thought because he was behind him, so I thought
No, but he jumped over.
okay, that makes all sense. But yeah, gonna get the solo kill anyway. And, that advantage of the tower place is now gone as the gold is equalised. But yeah, still 1,200 gold, and this Jinx is still well on her way to that early Infinity Edge. See what she's able to do with it. Maybe the early Rift Herald, but looks like Trundle is on that right now.
Yeah, the level 6 is available. That can always be the Super Mega Death Rocket flying over. Can change a lot of fights out. That global ability has a lot of damage to itself. As Veigar just taking all of these silences for free at the minute, it feels like. Got to be very careful. Nick gets caught again. One more AP item, I think that Veigar is dead.
Yeah, he's got to respect the damage. I mean, he isn't... Okay.
How it jumps out of the baby cage, walks a little too far forwards there, but the Conqueror now stacked for both sides, and the Ghouls just trading back a little bit more heavily in the extended.
Still hit him.
Yeah, still played him. It's still like Killand is here though versus Kraft, who walks into a bush, and the base check continues. Ult burn by Amumu, doing a lot of damage to this Trundle. Does use the pillar to proc the aftershock though. It's Stronger thinking about getting onto. Rakan walks into the chompers. Never mind that.
Yeah, and Jinx will flying past as well. Could have been a potential turn, but not to be.
Yeah, there's just so many skirmishes happening all over the place, it feels like. Push in from Bauer and Stronger though. Gonna try and claim themselves a tower plate. I don't think they quite manage it. Jinx is there to claim.
And yeah, that I mean, we all burned just for more or less a one-on-one rather than a gank. Because
Had to burn his
hard.
flash as well at the end of that. Got a little
Yeah,
bit caught
so-
out. They do finally pick up the tower plate, though, do Bower, and it's stronger. So that's something for the side of Ward Saves Lives.
2 minutes 15-second cooldown. That Mimic ultimate is. So it's
Pretty
definitely
huge.
a long time before he's able to use that ability. I mean, it's almost halfway, so he's got 7 seconds to go. But yeah, not the way you want to be using it. But I wonder if they're just. I feel like they should just try and punish this bot lane. You know, you have the CS lead, you have the 2 kills, you can play with the Drakes, you can try and get the early damage on the tower.
Definitely
And,
something
yeah.
they can think about. I bet the Leona was back at that point, though, which did give them the shove in. We'll give the shove in from the Zion Rakan. Mental Gold, though, is actually continuing the pressure outside of that solo close. Actually managed to get a fair amount of work done. The suppression is down the mid lane. Veigar's got no flash, no hope. Trundle's here to pick this one up, and Kraft slays Curly. Easily done. No hard work there. That point and click suppression is so obnoxious. Rift Herald summoned as well. That's going to mean that this tower is under a lot of threat. Hilland is here. Is going to try and claim that out at the back end of this. Does get to the eye, but the tower is so low. Pick up 4 plates to Akada, Chewy, and Kraft.
Yeah, and I don't mind this as much. Last game, there was more people with this. It's just split between 2. I don't mind that at all. This mid-jungle duo is certainly doing work so far. 600 gold lead for Malzahar, 400 for Trundle so far, so certainly doing work. Still,
Mage in the Mist is summoned, but Mental God is so low. But of course, those ghouls can try to try and get back in. Jumps forward. I think he stepped too far. Another tower shot. Mental God's oversteps. That was such a good bait.
yeah,
I hope it was a bait.
I mean, potentially, but yeah, just oversteps a little bit too much. He can't, see the thing is, the Drake is coming up, but he can recall, he can TP, potentially turn it, but doesn't look like he's going to.
He's going to look towards first tower. He doesn't care about that. He's got 10 seconds before Jax respawns, and Jax doesn't have teleport either. This is going to go down, I think. Yep. Easy
Yeah,
pick
that's-
up for this Yorick after the solo kill.
Yeah, that could actually be huge. I mean, he is 700 gold ahead, and that tower hasn't even dropped yet, but could be a potential 4v4.
Well, yeah, I think it might well be. The Drake is starting. Look, Rakan's got in with the quickness, and it's a bigger movement in return, though. But that's well Thunderbolts. But actually, Grandos is doing so much work in the back of Wakanda. Chewy is so low to double kill with the Jinx, and this Jax is sorry, not Jax. Yorick is here. Kraft is going to have to jump away on the blast.
Triple kill. My
Triple
god.
kill to the Jinx. The Infinity Edge pickup before that fight was huge, and the Yorick was down to pick up a couple of assists to his name, having got claim first turret as well. That is such a massive lead now for the side of Natural Summon Killers Academy, who are 21,500 gold to only 18,000 gold, and they're going to try and shove it on this mid lane tier 1 as well.
Yeah, this Yorick is just picking up plates for fun, to be honest. I mean, you would think he was a chef.
Oh, Byron
rather
might
than
be in
a
trouble.
but-
Has got
okay.
to stopwatch. The Chompers are there, might save my life. No, the suppression's there. Step 2 forwards, 2 deep. I actually think he would have survived if he kept going because the baby cage was down. And actually, Hilland is going back in on Towie, who'd leapt away, but now he's stuck between a pillar and a hard place. And that means he goes down as well. Such good pillar placement by Kraft. And now caught the baby cage though, and that is the GLP from the Veigar. But Grandos is now 6-0. Maybe it's WSL's turn to overstep.
What's happening this game? Oh my god. They're so I mean, it was like last week. They're just so desperate to get towers, they will die.
Well, they're going to have to be very careful about this. Veigar with his GLP, and it's Glacial Veigar can run you down from what appears to be total safety. Slows you down, you get hit by the baby cage, and suddenly this Jinx can free fire and blow up everybody. Oh, stronger. Got to be careful. No, does walk away. I thought a Zenith Blade was sure to come out there.
Yeah, but they're not able to get the tower in bot lane either. TP coming up from Veigar, so probably able to pick up that CS, but we'll see if James can get back to this mid lane quickly enough. Bayern will just hold the wave. Looks like nothing much is going to happen, but yeah, looking at gold across the board, I mean, Jinx is already nearly 2,200 gold ahead. That is absolutely
Veigar
huge.
has got to be a little careful here because it's stronger is in the bush. But no, it's going to walk away. And I also want to call out some of these items completions. I talked about the Infinity Edge in for this Jinx. She's also got a Zeal. It's the GLP for Veigar, which we mentioned already, but it's also Trinity Force long before the Jax as well, which is such a massive power spike. And the ascendancy in that top lane has got to go the way of the Yorick right now.
Yeah, 1,600 gold leads, definitely will. We'll see what damage they're able to try and get to this mid lane tower. Not very much. Malzahar clearing will sit. And yeah, could be a potential push. You see them walking mid right now, and the 4-man unit of NSK in the red side jungle. But yeah, it's all up in the air right now. Yes, there is a gold lead, but if that Jinx does happen to get ulted by Malzahar, it could turn very, very quickly.
Well, the other scare, though, is, of course, that Xayah and Rakan have got relatively free push in this mid lane because the Jinx had rotated bot to maybe help up with that tower push. But Yorick turns up, prevents that from happening. The push was just a touch too slow from WSLG. That means the mid lane tier 1 stays up for now.
Yeah, looks like he'll just return back to top lane. At least the bot tower is going to go to 3
Yeah,
there.
completely uncontested. Malzahar
Yeah.
wasn't there. That was Veigar literally took that down 100-0 by himself with no one there.
Yeah, just very slow. I mean, you can see what they tried to do, but obviously, with Yorick turning up, Jax wasn't able to shove it. It just seems very slow from WSLG. Just not seem to be up in the tempo. Maybe a little bit scared, that triple kill onto Jinx. Maybe just set them back a little bit. But, actually, one thing I didn't look at is what Drake is going to be. So it's going to be Cloud again.
Okay.
So sad. Oh, I couldn't be ocean. But yeah, it's going to be Cloud. And ultimate coolers are going to be lower, which I guess favours Amumu.
Got a bit of a fight again on this top side, though. Towie's stuck inside the baby cage, but actually that dodge field saving him a lot of damage. Their Mental Gold just wailing away at a counter-striking Jax. Didn't come to all that much in the end. But actually might now be in trouble because Trundle is here. The quickness is burned, and this Yorick, is by himself. There's no blast plan, buddy. You've got nowhere to go. Burns his flash, and Bauer picks up his first kill of the game.
Yeah, big kill. Big kill, and just nobody said anything. I mean, they aren't able to get anything on the map either. They're not able to push mid. It's just a free kill for nothing without any pressure on the map. And yeah, there just has to be more communication.
Chewy did get caught in the baby cage for a second. I thought there was going to be a bit more trouble there, but no. Also want to point out, Essence Reaver did get picked up for Xayah, and the Ludens is complete for this Malzahar. So they do have a fair amount of wave clear, and the mana regen on that Essence Reaver means they can clear waves for days. So definitely going to be able to maintain their towers a little easier from this point on.
Yeah, and 7.1, 5.4, still sort of. Oh, but
Never mind.
Malzahar-
Fight the bot lane. Yeah. Jax, Malzahar, brother. I said Jax a lot recently, and it's not going to matter because it's going to get a turnaround, no? And now he stays on the pit. And of course, that means it is turned around. The Veigar does go down 1 for 1. We talked about it. You can cleanse away from the suppression, but it's the pit on the ground that does the damage. And Veigar just sits on it. And it means that Trundle picks up this Rift Herald uncontested. And Malzahar did exceptionally well to pick up a 1 for 1. Well played by Wakanda Chili.
But the Veigar had ulti, so I mean, just very greedy, really.
Yeah.
He could have just that Q would have been coming up after the stopwatch. He could have just QR'd, would have been dead. So there would have been no suppression, no turn kill. So
He could have just walked off the damage area as well, right? Like, there's that massive pool underground that he just stayed on.
no
Bauer now
QSS.
potentially in a bit of trouble as the Rift Herald summoned up top, but it's going to be a push in mid for that up top. Yorick has gone up to contest, and Veigar's going as well. Mid tier 1 goes down by the hands of Gragnos. And the top side, Mental God did manage to save this tower just about. It is on a grand total of 104 health points.
And that's enough. It's not on 0, so obviously we'll stay. And yeah, we'll just see. But just trying to think if we do see the Leandri is starting to be built by the Malzahar. Once that's complete, obviously we'll hit another spike. And just like Bauer is very low here.
Keeps taking these zaps from Jinx, which are just putting him down to such low HP. And it's meant they've continued to push in the mid lane. Not sure they have a wave, though, to really threaten that tier 2. Mental Gold certainly does in the top lane, though.
Yeah, that's very true. Malzahar will be responding to him right now. Jack's pushing the bot lead. I wonder if the 4-man collapse will come through with this. Could be very, very dangerous.
Nope, tier 2 goes down by the side of Mental Gold on this Yorick, who is at a very strong point. He's got himself a Jorum's Fist building towards either a Sterax or a Titanic Hydra, depending.
And yeah, we'll just...
Oh, flash! We've got to see the flash away there from Byron Villa from the grand entrance, but does stay alive.
Okay, here's my Client has frozen them out. Okay, maybe
Never
not.
mind, we've got a bit of an engage in the mid lane again. Quickness burst this time as Jax is shoving the top lane. That's a good turnaround though because the Amumu ult is huge. And actually Jinx is running rampant. Xayah gets a kill on Amumu, but it's a double again for this Jinx, who is a monster at 8-0-0. Hide your valuables. Jinx is here to break every vault in town.
Yeah, so it tells me unable to download spectator data, so my game will be I'll have to try and reconnect in just such a sad point. As
Alright, so I'll give you some colour points to start, because what's happened is it's the jungler dead of his craft, he's gone, his stronger is dead on the Rakan as well, and that means the NSKA have moved over towards the Baron, as Hillanders, their jungler, is now respawning. He's not here though, and at the moment it doesn't look like WSLG have any idea this is going on. Veigar and the Leona are going to run over, but they just take the Baron for free. They tried to push in mid lane and didn't even get that.
yeah, just things are going from bad to worse for WSL right now, and it looks like we're pointing towards game 3 just like last week.
Yeah,
And
looks
we'll
like.
see this Jinx just seems to be running rampant, and again, you're fighting with it for setup. If you happen to get a Jax flank,
Big time.
however, and yeah, definitely punished for it.
Well, Spooky Ghost picked up for Veigar. We got a Hurricane and another Zeal for this Jinx. There's a Sterax completed by Yorick. These carries are absolutely monstrous. They are so ready to blow open this game if it hasn't already. We're looking at about a 6,000-7,000 gold lead for NSKA right now. And that's before they've started to push with this Baron. And the siege will be really strong with the baby cage zoning behind the towers and Jinx rockets on top of that. The WSLG have got to be very careful about even stepping up to towers right now.
Well, it's just about the Mumu ult as well. Just the dive
Yeah.
potential. Never mind the 4-1. Plus the York will have Baron. Plus the Jinx being able to just tear through these towers. It will be very, very scary. We'll see how. Hopefully, if I get back into the game before that push completely happens. We shall
Jax
see.
is trying to split push in the side lane, but Veigar is here and has already taken most of his hit points. Is now stuck in the baby cage, taking all of the damage, has to flash away even. And that means Yorick is uncontested in the bot lane. And he's going to shove in with a wave and the Maiden of the Mist. And actually looking like Mental Gord and the rest of the team might be looking to group up in this bot lane. As the Drake will be spawning in under a minute at this point, I imagine.
Yeah. I mean, the fact that Jinx is this far ahead, the fact that she has.
Oh, Craft. Sorry, I'm going to have to interrupt you. He just gets taken in by this Amumu. Does get the ultimate down there. Maybe it's going to be turned around. This is a pretty huge Featherstorm. Hillanders does slay it stronger. There's a damage there. And actually, the Ziggs does go down. But it's a double kill to Amumu in the back of this all. But the Xayah goes down. And that means the end of this fight as Wakanda Chewy desperately running away now on this Malzahar. Gets a fair amount of damage out. And yeah, the ultimate, or the passive burn, that DOT from Malzahar does a lot of work. It is a 3-4 for only the one. And it looked good. They did get the Jinx, but it's just not enough. They can't kill off these tankier members right now. The flash forward looks, or the Featherstorm rather, looks stylish from this Xayah. Came in, tried to do it, but it just wasn't enough in that fight.
Yeah, and it was very close. You think with the Jinx going down that potentially they could win that fight, but yeah, when you're at a goal deficit, when you're at 5,000-6,000 down, that's exactly what happened. Even though you get the most perfect engage, and we'll just see how demoralizing that is. Thinking, oh my god, we killed the Jinx, and we still lose the fight. Yeah, there was their third dragon. That is so point now, but if they can hold on long enough, it's tough to say. But the quicker they do get the Cloud Soul, the quicker the Elder can come up. Potentially, that could be. The comeback, maybe if they get another pick off. There is no QSS yet on anyone on this NSK side, so Malzahar obviously still full value. And we'll see if he's able to pick up a carry with unfortunately flashes down, but yeah, we'll see if that ticks round in the next fight.
Well, now with 2 Cloud Drakes as well, this is not even a level 16 Veigar, and his ultimate's already under a minute. That's going to be pretty scary. That means that Veigar can put out monstrous amounts of damage. I'm looking over at Jinx as well. Her ultimate's only on a 60-second cooldown as well. Those double Cloud Drakes really starting to stack up some of these really powerful teamfight ultimate cooldowns.
Well, the main one, Amumu's ult, the fact it's on a minute cooldown is...
Pretty insane. It's
Yeah.
not even level 16 right as well, guys. You've got to remember, once the 16 hits, those cooldowns are going to be dropping potentially to around 30 seconds, if that, especially if the third Cloud Drake and the Cloud Soul picked up alongside that comes through.
Oh, that's scary. I mean, the fact that Yorks is on 90, I understand why, but yeah, get Curse of the Sad Mummy every 60 seconds is pretty scary,
Yes, it
to be
is.
honest. Yeah, so see if they're able to use it. I mean, Malzahar can obviously hold this York for most amount of time, while the 4-man unit in the top lane. We'll see if they can break the base. I don't know if they can, but
Xayah has got a fair amount of wave clear, is using it to the best effect she can right now, preventing the waves from getting to the tower at all. It's Mental God versus the Malzahar, who has got a fair amount of wave clear himself. And that does mean that currently the push is kind of stymied, but WSLG is struggling to even get outside of their base at the minute. Pillar comes through, slows down the Veigar, but nothing else is coming of it.
yeah, and it's just looked to be an annoyance. Just try and be as much of a nuisance as you can. I mean, the Trundle effect right now, not very effective, and yeah, they just have to try and stall. That's all they can do. As you say, they can't leave their base. They just have to try and stall out until this next Baron that is coming up. I presume that's where WSL.
In under a minute at this point, it's coming up as well. So with how long they've been confined to their base, NSKA have got to know that WSLG have no wards on that Baron. This jungle is looking terrifyingly dark right now.
Yeah, and yeah, that honestly could be make or break. That is where either WSL try and their stand, or they give it up and then they really have to try and defend their base. And yeah, it's a tough decision to make, but at least knowing in the mind that this isn't do or die. For NSK, it much is not very good. But yeah, it certainly is. They have to win this game, and certainly Ragnar Sparran putting up a pretty good showing in this string so far.
Yeah. And of course, the Baron starts on spawn. Gragnus is here at 8-1-3 with his 3 crit items, complete ready to shred through this. And no one from WSLG is brave enough to come and face Drakes right now. Maybe they can turn it around with a good team fight from Xayah. Maybe this Malzahar can find the pick they need, but they desperately need to hold onto their base in the face of this next Baron push.
Yeah, certainly do. And I feel like they maybe could have contested. I mean, they do have. It's not like they had inhibitors down. I felt they could have contested that. I mean, I feel like it is going to be make or break. That push was very close to breaking the base regardless. And I feel like maybe now, that's exactly what they need to dive. They will have Baron waves in a 4-1. Malzahar will not be able to play as effectively. And yeah, we'll see if they're brave enough to push through this base or perhaps force.
Well, Mental Gore's going on to this. Jackson 3 levels lower than him. Oh, this is miserable. Towie is desperate to He's got a good counter strike up though. The pillar is here, and that means it's going to survive. Flash for flash. Jax just about gets out with some judicious use of cooldowns. But it means that 4 people have to be here to stop this Yorick push as the Super Mega Death Rocket came through. We'll call that opportunistically.
I mean, it's on low enough cooldown. I mean, if you can do.
It's already a quarter of the way done, and we just saw it fly across our screens.
Yeah, I mean, he can use it like a zap at this point, but yeah, we usually see Malzahar getting ticked out in half after his goals.
But the Drake is Drake's being started over here, and that means Cloud Soul is claimed. There we go, and that means NSKA are off to the races. 3 Cloud Souls. Let me just double check in on this Yorick cooldown. The Eulogy of the Isles, that R button to some of the Maid of the Mist, 72-second cooldown.
Yeah, and even Amumu's 50 seconds. We have Primordial Burst of Veigar on 45.
Oh, just unreal.
Jinx is on 50. Byron's Solar Flare on 43. That's potentially 2 Solar Flares in one fight if it goes long enough. That is so scary. So, yeah, getting some use out of the console.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, grouped up as 5 are NSKA. They're going to break the base this time. They've picked up the Cloud Soul. They feel more than ready to end this game. It's 29 minutes in. Inhibitor down in the bot lane. They're going to rotate around to the mid tower now by the looks of it. Or at least the mid wave. Maid of the Mist even currently surviving as Trundle desperately tries to chase her down. Oh, man. And it's such a terrifying team to face check as well. You're face checking a Leona, an Amumu, a Veigar. That's a lot of CC that can hold you in place for a very long time as the Spooky Ghost coming through as well. Glacial Veigar, no less, remember.
I just seen the pillar come down trying to kill Maiden.
Mental Gore takes a lot of damage though. He's going to go in. The Static Gauge is involved. Shut down over the Yorick. Maybe this fight could go around. But Jinx is still free firing. Jax is gone. And it's not just like the double for Jinx. Is this going to be the Penta, you wonder? She's got no, actually the Amumu picks that one up. Hillanders claims that, and it's 4 for 2 right now. It's only the Xayah alive. This 11, 1 and 4 Jinx, who picked up a QSS as an afterthought into a Malzahar. She was that fed, is looking to end the game here. There are so much damage available. Maybe Bao can get it going onto this Xayah, who's actually doing a lot of work. Hillanders is solo down, shuts down the Amumu, and it's maybe just going to be the Nexus tower one that goes down, but Bauer taking a lot of damage. Can Bauer even step forward? Oh my days, she's low. Xayah just about in one piece.
I mean, yeah, another
Game saved.
I mean, they could have just ended the game. They didn't have to dive like that. I mean, you could have just, have maybe Leona threaten the fact that she could go on to the Xayah, but yeah, the game is surprisingly not over yet. Tower survive, Bauer saves the day. He is 3 items now on this. That is sitting on 1800 gold. I mean, Jinx is surprisingly 1900 ahead. So,
but that 1900 buys her a QSS, and that means that she is still a full item ahead of this Xayah, who has hit 3 crit items now. And we saw in that last team fight she could definitely do work. And Yorick is not the best teamfight champion. Loves his 1v1s, can pull off a 1v2, but he needs to be whacking just the one person. And in that last team fight, he got CC, he got slowed by the pillar. Another good one from Kraft, actually, who, even though this has been a bit of a difficult game for him in some ways, some of those pillars have been pretty clean. That was another one that, caught the Yorick out that time.
Yeah, and Malzahar over the voice staff. Very
Yeah,
sensible item to go and glad that is not a Morel. We'll be doing a lot of damage. The fact that his level 16 as well. I mean, it's a shame that Trundle was only level 13, same level as support. But doubling him down, we'll see how well they can defend this base. I feel like a straight up 5v5, as you mentioned, with Yorick not taking 3/4 of his health bar as it starts, potentially could be the end of the game, and we'll see as he's pushing the bottom.
It's level 16 ticked over for Jinx and Veigar as well, and those ultimates are scary ones. They're shoving in. The Mental Gold is in this bot side. They've broken the base in pretty much every conceivable way, but ending it right now. Trying to use the pillar again is Kraft, and look at where Jax is off to that side, trying to find a flank, but no luck so far. The 4-1 continues. This inhibitor is under threat in the top side, and it is going to go down. Hillanders takes that one out as the Amumu. Super carry Amumu, there with his Randuin's and Stoneblade, is a very beefy boy at this point as well. And Veigar only inches away from a death cap where he will be hitting as more of a truck than he already is. I'm not quite sure how much AP he's at, but it probably will be a vast amount, you imagine.
I will tell you right now, he is currently at 492 without death cap. So
without death cap, so pretty well. That's not bad for a GLP Veigar. Baron number 3 started, and once again not contested. Blue side of the jungle for WSLG is currently rather the NSKA blue side of the jungle Mark II, because it's covered in so many wards.
And I feel like it might just be the Elder into end, which potentially could be a one fight for WSL. That is what we're hoping. Maybe they don't need it. Maybe they don't try and force that.
Well, we've called the potential of a good Rakan engage, of a good Xayah fight. This Malzahar still has a lot of targets, by the way. There is only one QSS available. Only the one. So if he can find a target, or if he can force Jinx to burn hers and then ult her, they have got ways into this fight. Will it be easy? No. The experience leads are pretty massive. And with the Elder Drake about to spawn in under a minute, there is probably one last fight. One last chance to try and find some way back into this game for Ward.
And that's got to be scary for NSK as well. The game is not completely won, even with an 8,000 near to 9,000 goldie. But Veigar, 750 ability power. He is going to certainly one-shot the Xayah.
That's the death cap for. He's got a Sorcerer's Elixir in there. I had to flash in for the Amumu up. Never mind that talk. Xayah's free behind the backline, but Jinx is doing so much more. Kraft is dead. So is Rakan, and it's already looking awful. Jax dives in just to die. But wait, Xayah getting to pull back the feathers, doing so much work. She's turning it around, but that's a huge crit from Jinx, who says, not enough of that. And the Rockets are nuclear warheads and claim everybody on the side of WSLG Green. They're moving in to end this game. It's going to be tied up 1-1. GGNSKA.
I mean, that game was so close. I mean, you just seen the amount of work that Zaya was doing. 4 items, almost able to win it. It was so scary, but they will go over the line. They do know what to get over. They do use the third Baron end that game. But yeah, it was a very tough one. Once again, like last week, we are going to go to a game 3.
Yeah, it's never simple in this matchup, and everything is on the line as we'll be going into the last match very soon. But, you know, we've got to give some confidence, some credit to Gragnos Baron, who ended 14-1-6 on that Jinx. That is monumental stuff. He did 26,000 damage across that game, was doing really good work. I mean, actually, in fairness, the Xayah did 23,000, so good work from her to stay relevant. But, you know, the Jinx damage meant so much more, won so many team fights. Congratulations to NSKA on evening that series up.
Yeah, and you just see how scary it could be, even with only 3,000 damage difference. But yeah, of course, 3,000 could be those last few crits onto the Xayah and that Mauser wins in the game. We'll see if what bans will be tweaked for game 3. Things like Mimi the York will, you know, thrown off again. And yeah, just I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, indeed. Well, with that, we're going to leave you short for a short while while we prep for game 3. This is it. It's 1-1. It's one last game to decide all the marbles. One last game to decide who will be going forward to the best of 5 to try and reach for those lofty goals of Group B. See you then.
Take me down, you won't break me, I'm too strong. Keep saying it wrong, I'll play along, but I will never be a victim. So swing me around, take me down, you won't break me, I'm too strong. Keep saying it wrong, I'll play along, but I will never be a victim.
Welcome back, everyone, and we are here for the deciding match in this best of 3. It's 1-1. It's back and forth, and everything is on the line. And of course, I'm still joined by Demo. How are you doing, buddy?
Yes, I haven't gone anywhere yet. 2 hours in. Another exciting game to go. And I was just saying to you before we went live again that I believe it was WSL that did win the game 1 last week with the Talia.
They did.
Could be another reverse sweep potentially.
Oh, no, it's got to be on their minds. It's got to be on their minds. It
I wonder.
happens one week, it's starting to happen again.
Yeah.
I wonder whether Kraft thinks about going towards a carry champion again. He tried desperately in the last series of last week to carry on the Diana, couldn't get it over the line. So if it happens one more time, could be absolutely mentally devastating. But we are into pick and bans, and Misfortune is the first ban this time around.
Yeah, and I believe probably Misfortune, Zyra, maybe potentially something like a Jax, maybe it could be what else would be banned? Maybe a Xayah, something like that. But yeah, it wasn't like the Trundle was bad either. It was just unfortunate. It was a good pick against the Leona, against lost the disruption, stealing the stats. There's the Yorick. Yeah, I mean they won game 1 with Yorick banned, so that won't be the cause of the demise this game.
And Zyra taken away from it stronger as well. And I want going back to that Yorick Mental Gourd, outside of that one solo kill against him, did get the first tower, did get another solo kill in response with a little help from some judicious tower shots. But it kind of prevented the Jax being a win condition for Toei, and of course the rest of WSOG. So I can absolutely understand that ban.
I was going to say, here comes the Lucian. Damn, I didn't get to say it before. Damn it.
Yeah, it's a bit of a shame. Ragnos plays it, Mental plays it. I would be unsurprised if Curly didn't play it as well. The 3-way flex is just so obnoxious. Get rid of it.
I'm just thinking maybe potential third ban could be the Braum. It's very clever.
Force the Ornn ban if that's the idea, because otherwise you'd have no way to prevent the call of the Forge Guard. It's pretty powerful. Into that,
I pick I'd love to see into on is Silas.
Really? I suppose you can just steal the ultimate, can't you?
I played it myself. Not proficient, but it did feel good. The W max for the Silas plus stealing the ultimate. Yeah, it's wonderful. But we won't be getting that this game. First pick, Mordekaiser, right? Okay.
Well, we kind of had our issues with it in the first game, but in the end, it actually came out to being a very strong pick. Stuffed a little in the laning phase, but came into those fights, it was a bit of a monster.
Could just be the return of Aatrox Xayah, something like that. Potentially could be. Let's see, what else could you take? I doubt the Delhi pick Trundle, so maybe just Zyra Khan could just be. I
mean, you have to see where they go. I mean, Zyra Khan was pretty strong. They've gone for Dr. Mundo first round, first pick here on the red side. That's a bold call.
Yeah, but Jack's available. And the Yorick band, they're not going to take it again. Going to go with the Mundo now. I mean, they are potential. I mean, the thing is, right? If Helander and Curly both pick magic damage, and this Mundo is wonderful.
Well, Mordekaiser's already locked in, right? And the fact that a Mundo that can build Spirit Visage first is a very happy Mundo.
And the Rakan too, so
big time. Well, they've still got the opportunity for a Xylock, and Hillender's going back towards the Amumu. Had a good game on that last time around. Had some very good teamfight ultimates.
But you're not killing that Mundo.
Nope.
You're okay. I mean, they're simply just saying we won with the last game. We're going with it again. Now they've got to think, does the Jinx come back again? It's going to be the Victor, so...
Well, kind of Chewy going back to that pick. Looked very good on that, so I'm not...
Why did they not take the Xayah? It's just going to get banned now. I mean, there was no reason to take the Victor.
But I suppose remember, all AD carries are up across the board. No one's picked an AD carry yet, so if one starts squeezing the AD carry pool, you squeeze it for both. Veigar taken away from Curly. Went down in lane, but later on in that fight, the baby cages were so powerful. Did zone off a lot of people.
I'm going to predict the Xayah's going to be banned here. Jinx is going to be banned. And then we'll have maybe something like a Caitlyn banned away under. So I'm thinking, come on, please be right.
Please, Xayah at least makes a lot of sense.
Well, I'll be 200 IQ or 10 or 20.
Twice first
damn it.
Well, there's still room for a Xayah ban yet. Worry not, there is still room.
Yeah. I still think Jinx will be banned. I think it would be Kai'Sa, Jinx, then Xayah. I mean, that makes sense.
I mean, Aphelios is still up. That ridiculously powerful champion of the many guns. The walking arsenal himself.
It has been through both 1 and 2 without even having a look. So I doubt it would come up now. But yeah, potentially, if AD carries do start but okay, so they're not really worried about Jinx.
Well, Amumu and Orianna is a pretty nasty combination. You throw the ball on top of the Amumu, he goes in. You ult, he ults, everybody dies. It's a pretty fun experience for all involved.
Very true. And I wonder if the Zion's going to take it. I think we beat it last game. We don't care about it, even though it is just such a good lane and how well he performed on it.
There it is.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll give you that 150 IQ. It wasn't the first ban there, but it was at least one of the bans. So I'll give you some confidence there.
Okay. I mean, yeah. Okay,
Smarter than average. You're not quite notorious pub, but there we go.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Don't even talk about that. That was unbelievable. But yeah. I guess in the sense that it does make sense to not ban the Jinx. Mundo can get on top of her. Same again. You just don't allow it to get ahead, and what's even scarier now. We're going to have tank versus tank.
Yeah. Well, the Jinx is still up, but this would be, Sejuani has always been quite good into those immobile carries. Could be a bit of a risk. Can, I suppose, do a fair amount of long-range shredding on a Mundo, so it is locked in. Azir would make a lot of sense for Curly. It's what he plays all the time in solo queue. It's a champion he knows best. DPS and mixed damage or mixed damage DPS between a Jinx and Azir means that Mundo will have to be a little bit more careful in those team fights at least.
Yeah. And the thing is as well, if you are Mordekaiser, I mean, your first 3 items could simply just be Liandry's Morel, even, or first 2. Could definitely come through. I wonder what AD card they're going to do. I would love to see it. Okay, we're going to get it.
Yeah, Twitch. Okay. Bauer has been spamming this in his solo queue. It's been mainly jungle for him, but he has put a lot of time into this champion, so he's gone for this. Look out for those level 1, 2 roams where you can just appear in other lanes.
Oh, okay, this is going to be so special. I mean, he has to be so careful. He's got so much threat. But then again, both AD carries do. You've got Sejuani, you've got Rakan. But, I mean, you've got Amumu, Mordekaiser, Leona. This rat, has to be really, really careful.
I can't imagine Twitch Rakan as a particularly strong lane either.
No, I mean, he hit 6, but then Leona, it's very risky. And, I mean, if you are going to have carry against a Mundo, you would want Mordekaiser. He will get the Liandry's, he will burn. I presume Morello will come through at some point for Azir. It will grievous wounds for Jinx. These things will obviously help. I presume she'll get more reminder quite early as well because of Sejuani's too. So it's a very valuable item.
It makes a lot of sense, particularly into Mundo, who is all healing all the time. Grievous wounds are going to be so huge.
Yeah, and maybe more just invest the 800, just gets the executioners potentially instead. But I would suspect it will be. He might end up just going rallies again, just into that Leandry's, but I would like to see it first. The penetration would be huge in this matchup, and yeah, we'll see if Mental God goes towards it.
Well,
and yeah, I'm definitely excited for this one.
Massively. Be afraid of those WSLG bot lane roams. Invisible Twitch. Grand entracing Rakan with a bit of quickness on top could be death for particularly the Azir if they manage to make that roam up the river unimpeded. On the other side, though, back line damage galore with an Azir and a Jinx, and a Mordekaiser on top to pull somebody out could be pretty scary. Yeah,
if you're the Twitch and you're in there with a death roam, I mean, your Victor's your only damage, and that's going to be so scary. But then again, if you any one of them is going to get value. A tank not to get on top of the Jinx, a carry to do less damage. It doesn't matter. You will get value of that. But the QSS is coming through. We'll see who buys what. And definitely both teams picking up a win. It will be playing on their mind of confidence with NSK coming in. We'll see how WSL handles this game through.
Big time. And I want to call for an early QSS buy on this Twitch particularly. If he ever gets Death Realms, he's not a LeBlanc who can distort away. He's not an Ezreal or even one of those sort of AD carries with a little bit of at least inbuilt movement speed, like throwing the strut on for Misfortune. He gets stuck in there and he doesn't get to go invisible. Mordekaiser will destroy that rat. And, he's also versus an Amumu, he's versus a Leona. Makes a lot of sense outside of just the Death Realm being able to cleanse that, but I really want to see that early, I think.
Yeah, and the thing is as well, is it brings so much value. The fact that you have more than one QSS threat. If you get the Death Realm, but then you got a Amumu, then you got a Leona. It's like, there's so many threats this QSS. You have to be very, very careful how you use it. and it depends. I can't see something if you can. I doubt it, but
Yeah.
With this, but I don't know if he has got the cleanse on the Twitch.
I can't. I just see Twitch right now. Once we start loading in, we'll be able to have a look for ourselves. Cleanse would be potentially quite a good one. I can still see a heal or a barrier being pretty good as well. You know, all those things are good spells, I imagine, in the bot lane right now. Only, I kind of feel like this is going to be, and feel free to correct me, a game of kind of particularly the Azir and the Jinx and the Twitch kind of trying to avoid all the CC that will be flying at them because Sejuani, Rakan, and to an extent Mundo, and as you got you got the Amumu and the Leona, and to an extent Mordekaiser on the other side. I was like, that's a lot of CC that would love to hit some mobile targets.
Who has watched Happy Feet most recently? And yeah, that's basically it. Who's going to be having the
Strictly Come Dancing starts on the TV again. People be paying attention. Is this how they're training these days? Yeah, exactly. I mean, we are cresting definitely into the night here for me in the UK. I suppose you're up in Scotland. These days. Yeah, okay. So it's getting pretty late over here. So that caffeine being needed for myself to keep me up and ready to cast.
Yeah, for sure. And certainly for people that are an hour, potentially 2 hours ahead as well.
Yeah,
like
big
10,
time.
11 o'clock.
Massively. Good job for staying with us.
Yeah, true, definitely. Especially every year.
It is heal for Twitch, by the way.
Ah, okay. That's an interesting one. I was going to say, it's connection error told me. I've always had something. Game 1 to 3. Different things every single game.
I only had game 1 where my client would just stop working briefly and then I'd missed a team fight, which is not the best thing when you're supposed to be the play-by-play caster. You sort of turn up at the end of the fight and go, yeah, that was exciting, guys, wasn't it? And everyone else goes, well, you kind of messed that one up.
Yeah, I mean, that's typically. It's like I'm trying to talk about a point in 10 seconds behind. It's like, hang on a second, we have a team fight. It's like, oh,
look, I've been over this with you before. You don't get to make points in these games. That's not how it works. There's fights all the time. And they are often over entirely meaningless moments. So, yeah.
I was going to say 620,000 for that. That is a lot of points.
That is a fair amount. I think it's not the 1 million point mark for a true one trick, but that's pretty good going.
Yeah, 150,000 for Twitch as well. It's not bad. It's getting there.
Do you know any 1 million point mastery mains?
I actually, my friend Firm, he sent me a screenshot. I think an Ari that had like 3.2 million.
Good grief! So I was going to call out fellow caster and my brother Nymera, who's just gone over 1 million on RE, but like 3.2 on RE's flipping heck. That's many years of someone's life in dedication to.
Yes, he just sent me.
RE then.
RE's insane. He's called KDA RE Prestige Edition, level 2 to 14. It's 3.291 million.
That is obscene, actually.
So, that's a lot of time on RE. So, if you want any tips, potentially, I don't know what.
What rank is he? Because if he's like in silver and got 3.2 million mastery points, that could be. Maybe think about a new champion. But back into the game, it's blue. It's a wolf start again for Kraft, who is doing this leashless start that we have started seeing a little bit more. Amumu, however, did get a leash on his blue buff, and that means the Mental God will be a touch late to the lane. But it is into this Mundo, who I kind of don't know how to feel about that lane. I assume the Mordekaiser will be kind of fine into it, but I'm not sure how much kill threat the Mordekaiser will have the moment some of that AP, the magic resistance built up at least.
Yeah, that's the thing with the end. And Mordekaiser is very tricky to know really his damage output. He does do a good amount of damage to tanks. The item builds do help them a lot. But yeah, back to your point about the start. I mean, it's quite popular now to start either Wolves, start like Gragas, and start Raptors.
Big trade onto this Mundo in the top lane.
Yeah, there we go.
Darkness Rising is huge.
Yeah, does a lot of damage. And plus, when Rylai's comes in, that's slow. Leandre's Born the Madness. You know, even if he gets Amarellos, the Mundo will not be able to handle Mordekaiser. But we'll see if it gets to that point. That is 3 items. That's a lot. What a goal.
Big time.
But yeah,
so
the jungle start.
Are you expecting a Leandre's Morello start for this Mordekaiser then, basically?
It wouldn't surprise me. Okay, yeah, voice staff would be great, but the Madness Burning, the way his kit works, he doesn't necessarily voice staff early on compared to other mages. But yeah, it's just you think, okay, the value of Morello. Okay, I'm going to have to 3.2,000. But the fact that Mundo will not just be able to run at you freely will do a lot. And especially with the DPS that all these carries will do. Mundo will just never heal. So it's a very scary position. We'll see if he's able to break through any barriers.
Yeah, ooh, Deathcraft just misses, but Kraft is on the top side of the map. He's just picking up his Krugs, and with Mental Gorge so shoved forward, we could see this first gank coming from the Sejuani. He is
Yes,
starting to
gonna
path
come.
around. There's the on the way ping.
Here we go.
Coming in now. It's a slow landed. Mental Gorge may have to flash pretty early here. Not even going to bother. Just actually does flash now. I think it's a bit late though. You got stunned and first blood over to this Mundo. No wards down. Easiest gank of Kraft's life.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, you've got to prepare yourself for the first 3 waves of push shoving. Okay, I need to go more now to Joanna. Potentially the top side. Is he talking to Halanda about where he could be on the map? Presumably he isn't. He is going to do a Shinshin TP. Could they go ganked again? I doubt it. The health bar's not. Well, this is Joanna, but yeah, he's going to most likely get the no magic, the crystal, come back to lane. Yeah, happy as a bird in a tree. And yeah, but already Mordekai's at a deficit.
No, he's actually going to get ganked one more time. Sejuani's here again.
Oh,
Look
not
at
again.
that top lane. Yeah, the Death Scraps coming through. It's a stun
Oh,
onto
no.
the Mordekaiser. Yeah, the Death Rising there, but it's not going to be enough for no flash this time.
Oh,
It's 4 minutes 45, and Mordekaiser is 0-2-0. I know you're in love with Death, mate, but you don't need to be going to the grey screen that often.
I mean, he hasn't got any vision, and he just really shoves up. It's like you just can't afford to be doing that. This game is so important. The way you've been playing, first 2 games you've done really well. It's just so lackluster. He will really, really regret it.
Well,
and
he's going to lose
yeah,
this wave to turret as well because he's burned his teleport to get back after that first death, only to be ganked again. That's going to be massively tilting. 2-0 on this Mundo as well, no less.
yeah, and he's over 800 gold up already. Even more now actually. 2.3 to 1. He's like, okay.
Gonna try and turn this around, maybe, but no, the slope
no.
from the cleaver is there. Amumu,
Yeah.
at the very least, does pick up the first Mountain Drake here for the side of
Okay.
NSKA. That's something.
Oh, it's Inferno! Oh, jeez. Don't tell me we're going to get 3 games of Clouds. Oh, please, come on. Give us
Can you
something, give us
imagine a
some-
Mundo with permanent ult active because the cloud he gets 4 cloud drakes? Are
please.
you not ready for that?
Oh, please. But that's the thing, to that point, that is why a lot of the time, a lot of damage coming through. But again, you would just cleaver him, run away. But yeah, so like, the reason that a lot of teams will give up 2 Drakes is because you can literally go 4 Drakes of the same one. That will give you an enormous buff. It's just like stacking one on top of the other. So if you imagine like 4 Drakes in a row, Mountain, Inferno, Ocean, it is huge. So it's the reason why. Okay,
Yeah, I mean, it is, we've heard it. So actually, look who's back at the top lane.
Uh-oh.
I am telling he's hit level 6. That means the healing's going to be in, and Kraft
Oh,
is here again.
no.
Mental Gorge. 0,
Again.
3, and 0 is beckoning. The grey screen is there. Mordekaiser. Iron Revenant is more like an iron coffin right now. That's
No
not
more.
a good start in this game. 3-0-0 for this Mundo, who is going to be an absolutely unkillable monster.
He has 3 wards. Like, just shove in, go in, place the ward, quit the control ward, done. That's it, done. Like, call your jungler just, like, such easy ganks. He's going to be kicking himself, and it's costing his team a lot. This Mundo is going to get so tanky, so fast, and he's already sitting on 1,600. So, he's well on his way to, I mean, Visage, I presume it's Visage. But he
Yeah,
might
he
even
just
get
got
that.
Visage, he just got Kindle Gem. He's at, that'll be 20% CDR already. That's enough AP resist already. This Mundo is, well, off to the races is one way of putting it, but Mundo always goes where he pleases. Where he pleases at the minute is through pretty much any wall, barrier, or large object he can find his way into. Like, this man is pretty much unstoppable.
Well, I was going to say in
Actually,
Flash that he
Gonna
was
see a
300.
flash out of Jinx. I'm gonna have to turn this
Okay.
around. Byron's gonna turn this around, and actually to root onto this. Twitch is having to flash out as well, but a flash stun. Is this gonna be
Okay.
another 2v2 kill? Yes, it is. Grabnos picks that
Nice.
one up. The point of light, 2 games in a row. Oh, double kill with a great Super Mega Death
Ooh.
Rocket.
Okay, I mean, just as you're thinking the early game is well for them, Jinx gets another double kill, with Gragnus Baron certainly stepping up again. Baron doing so much work with his bot lane, this could lead him to potential second Drake. But yes, my point was going to be that I Am Towie was only 350 gold off that Visage already. They ended up buying an extra no magic. Does have 100. 2 magic resistance already, so...
Well, the ward has gone down and the Death Realm is here, but look who's back.
Not
It's
again.
Sejuani.
Oh my
Fourth
god.
time. Fool me once,
That's enough.
shame on you. Fool me 4 times. Mental
You know what
Gord,
that is.
Mental Boom a little bit at the minute. He's desperately looking for these 1v1 fights, and ward or not, it's just fighting a Sejuani. It's never been a clean 1v1 the entire game.
Just put a ward down, buddy, please.
I mean, there
Just-
is. There's a big ward down.
No, but by that point, he said one he could just Q it doesn't matter. Like, he really needs to have it in Tribush. It's just okay. I mean, it was going to be like, oh well, there's a control one in there. I mean, happy days, but oh, it's just such a shame.
It
really
is, but
is
it's
getting
only
bullied.
400 gold in the lead for the side of Ward Save
Yes,
Live Screen.
yes.
It doesn't mean it's like a huge amount up. There is a pretty significant lead for this Jinx in the bot lane. This game is not done. It is
No,
a
of course.
scary advantage in the top side. The Mental Gord is going to be a bit of a non-factor for a while, especially if he consistently gives up that pressure up there. But this Jinx has got items, can do damage, and because she's not an AP threat, will still be doing fairly good damage to this Mundo, at least early on before he builds into armor. So there's some things to be at least positive about, but for the moment, Ward Saves Lies Green are gleefully rubbing their hands thinking about Herald control, which, as I will pan over myself, and I will see a Sejuani picking it up. And I think he's just going to return top lane, but here comes a Mumu. Runs into the Sejuani, though, and I'm not sure they're going to want this 2v2. Going in on the Mundo. It's a massive ult!
Okay.
But I know it's going to be enough. Look, that's a huge turnaround, and Kraft gets the kill onto a Mumu,
can
and
it be
Mundo
killed?
heals so much up. That means Metal God is now kind of in the middle of nowhere. Does get one back, is strong enough for that. It's a 1-for-1. Does stop the Rift Herald spawn, but Towie is so strong at this point.
Okay.
Getting a fair amount down with the cut.
Oh.
Ooh, it was closer than I expected. But it does mean 4-0-2 on this Mundo, 1-5 on this Mordekaiser. Gonna try and get the Super Mega Death Rocket coming up. Let's see if it lands.
I was going to say he's surely been
Does
told
move
to
out of the
move.
way. Yeah.
Yeah. I was going to say he should have done it out of vision, so that he didn't know. But yeah, I mean, yeah, spur of the moment. But yeah, sadly again, another 4 kills there. There's the tread. Oh boy, this Mundo. I mean, if he gets any sort of armor now, it's such a tough uphill battle. But yeah, I don't understand why Highlander hasn't been anywhere near this bottom. I mean, you're against Twitch, and you have a Mumu Leona, a Fed Jinx, and you haven't ganked it at all. You haven't like been like, okay, well, I need you to whip the shot in. Need to try and gank this line. And yeah, the third dragon is going to be
Second
it's,
trick. Second
it's
trick.
Cloud again.
They love us. We love it. Mundo with the 4 clouds. Soul
like,
is
how?
still the dream. I'm
it
ready
rigged?
for it.
Is this rigged? Is this series rigged or something?
I
Has
rigged
VL
it.
done
I
something?
went in when I said my client was broken. It was just because I was running all the scripts to get Cloud Souls in. That's what it was.
This is just absolute.
I
I mean,
it was me.
Oh, 3
Rift Herald,
consoles
someone
in
at
a
the
row.
top. Rift Herald is someone at the top lane
That's a
though, and
huge
Metal
wave
Lord is going
too.
to try and defend 1v2. I'm not sure how sensible. The Indestructible is there. He's now got the Sejuani, and the Death Realm is wandering a long way away from his tower. I don't think it's going. He's actually the same level as this Sejuani. He's trying to put out as much damage, but it's the 1v2. Can't quite get it. Is he going to have to flash? No, doesn't get it. It's unstoppable for this Mundo. 5-0-2. Spirit Fist is completed. Merc Thread's completed. It should be traded in the bot side, at least in terms of the towers. But this Mundo is, well, there are many superlatives you could use to describe him. Huge, humongous, massive, monstrous.
He's
This
only
Mordekaiser, very much the opposite right now.
he's only 3,000 going ahead. I mean,
Only
it's not that
3,000.
bad.
No, it's not.
It's not that bad. The fact that he just like tower and maybe he thought it was going to go down anyway because the wave was so big. But he's just like, okay, I'm going to give up tower, kill the piggy. She gets away though, and then he dies. It's just like, it's just like if people left this, it's so sad.
It is a little bit, and Victor as well, while the CS is pretty even in the mid lane. We haven't seen too much of it. Curly has actually lost himself 3 of his tower plates to this Victor, which is a pretty big deal.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, okay, we're going to get...
Big trade, has to flash out, actually. Good use of the Chaos Storm there.
Just
Byron's going to get engaged on, though, by Kraft. Does manage to get away for now, but Mental Gord is 2 levels down, and he just does no damage. But this
so
Mundo now
tanky.
is the damage carry Metal Gorge shouldn't have been there. He's going to lose this one straight out. Dominating now is the Mundo. And there's a Sunfire Cape just about to come in as well. It's looking more and more like... Wait, Hillanders has found an engage over the wall, but that's a big Super Mega Death Rock. Actually forces the heal out of Bauer, who's going to flash
And
away.
Flash, yeah.
Jinx is strong. That's the one shining light. As still, quickness now has to be burned by its stronger. Bot lane is the one shining light. The mid lane we've seen is starting to go the way of Wakanda Chewy. The top lane could not be more in favor of this Mundo, who's going to claim a tier 2 now.
Oh god. I mean, Gragas Bar must please, just please, like, give me a chance to carry the game, buddy. Like, they're just giving this Mundo so much. He's sitting on another 1,000. He's going to finish Sunfire Cape. Oh, Jesus.
It's
And mid-tower's gonna go down.
2,500 gold for the side of WSLG, and I'm Towie, guys, is like just ridiculous at this point. Like, just ridiculous.
Well,
Yeah.
I was just going to say,
Well.
if it is a 4v4, technically,
He's not there.
WSL
No.
are down in gold.
Ah, that's true. I mean, this Jinx
So-
is strong, right? She's got an Infinity Edge. It is, Twitch has completed the Blade of the Ronin King in response, so there is that. But, if this Jinx can free fire, if this Azir can free fire, there are opportunities. It's just a question of whether they can ever get there, because this Mundo has hit such a strong point so early. And actually, they found one of those invisibility ganks we worried about in the mid lane. It's going to force Curly away, and I imagine might claim tower in the mid lane as well. Gragnos and Hillanders have rotated top, but Victor is there to hold the wave. Are you sure you want a Death's Grasp for this Mundo who's 3 levels up on you? That was like an auto and a cleaver that did a third of Mordekaiser's health bar there.
Yeah, that's not looking too great. And I mean, he could probably just ulti and just like take this tower if he wanted, but he's gonna play safe.
Big
He's
time.
gonna
Look who's back. Craft's back again. It's a good death roam to avoid the Sejuani up. I don't know if it's going to matter. He's stuck under tower with nowhere to go. Teleport's now going to be burnt for Curly. But for the first time in the game, this is the first time they're responding. They get on the Sejuani with a flash. Zenith's blade. Hillanders is here, but misses the bandage toss. Byron's going to have to use the stopwatch. It's a good curse of the sad money, but it's not going to matter because the wallets are so massive from the side of WSLG. Curly goes forward to die. Hillanders running on the tower. Mundo goes where he pleases. This tower means nothing to him. And the Amumu has a sad birthday alone under this tower. 3 for none. And Bauer is here to claim Mental Gold as well to add insult to injury. Might get killed by the tower in response though. No, does get out. Doesn't even trade that. 4 for 0 in the end. And that first Cloud Drake goes the way of WSLG, who are 6,000 gold in the lead at 16.5 minutes.
Well, definitely they have so many pins available just to burst them in his little bubble. That balloon is not going to last very long. I mean, the thing is, it was a good fight. If you had had Jinx there, they needed to have the Jinx there.
Yeah.
If Jinx is top and you have a Mundo that has Spirit Visage and Sunfire, you're not killing him with the Jinx. Even if Jinx is there, it's still going to take a long time. So it's just, I get the urgency.
Oh boy, Gragnos and Byron now caught by the side of a gravity field. I thought they might go for a little bit more though, but Conchu is actually quite low on mana, so had to back away.
But yeah, it's just looking very sad and depressing. I'm just going to check the other members. I mean, even the Sejuani is over 2,000 gold ahead. Mid's up 1,300. AD carry is down 2,000 though. So, if someone is going to carry this team, it's going to be Gragnos. He's going to have to put the biggest carry performance.
50 CS, by the way. Like, that is massive. Like, this Jinx has got the one remaining burning candle for the side of this team and SKA. Maybe if Curly can get a few items under his belt as well, he can be something, but they've got to hold up against the onslaught, which seems to never end from WSLG. Kraft has been, I was going to say it's been everywhere, but he hasn't. He set up the mother of all tents in the top lane, and credit to him. You know, you can imagine in solo queue that type in all chat of camp lol, but actually it makes no difference because actually it's a 1v2 now in the bot lane, and it means no difference because Mundo did get so fed from the repeated ganks from Kraft that he's pretty much unstoppable, and that's just WSLG.
He doesn't have to ult. Like, he's at the point where Amumu, like that's what I was saying before, it's very dangerous if there is triple EP, and then they drafted Mordekaiser, Amumu, and arguably Azir is one of the better. Of course, Cassiopeia, Corki, that, but you drafted triple EP, and then Mordekaiser got camped, so you put yourself in a situation where you're never really going to kill this Mundo. He can rush past it so fast, start getting the armor so Jinx does nothing, and you're left without a win condition. And if he picks up that Warmogs in, say, 1,800 gold, yeah, it's just going to be very, very difficult.
Yeah, it is. And, it is going to be one of those things where can Jinx get enough damage to cut through the massive amount of tank items that have come through? And at the minute, that's probably a no. But it could be, because actually, if she can keep picking up picks like this, because we're kind of Chewy pushed up so far, it's going to get stunned, though. Gonna have to... Oh, no, good flash out, but the stopwatch is here. Be a little bit careful, does mistime that. And actually shut down with the Cypher Power! We're kind of Chewy. Double mistimings from the Jinx mean that she gets blown up there. The shining light snuffed out by this Victor.
Yeah, just so unfortunate. Just managed to mistime the zap and goes down. Plus the 2 bottom goes down as well. Gonna get more. That was close, but yeah, it's just gone from bad to worse for NSK. And honestly, the win conditions are just so managing. They really need to try and slow this game down. They didn't try and go for it. Well, I mean, it was a good play, but I think taking the flash would have lost the Jinx as well. Stay pressure.
No, at least they have pretty good wave pressure, and there's not the best sieging necessarily from the side of WSLG outside of just running under tower and tanking it, which I mean they can do. But Twitch has never been known as the best tower taker. Victor's not awful once he gets that Lich Bane complete, but that is at least something. And the Azir and Jinx as a saving grace have good wave clear, and maybe if they can hold on to their base at least, they can try and turtle and scale. Maybe they can pull it off. They're gonna try and pick up this mid-tier 1, but we've seen pushes on mid-tier 1s between these two teams go wrong before. But this one is picked up without an issue, and that's the second tower of the game for NSKA, and the gold is picked up by the Azir and the Jinx, which is big for them.
Yeah, and I honestly just what the build path idea. Is she going to go into Blade of the King? When is she going to do the small reminder? Even just starting off with Executioner's Calling? Is even Amumu just going to try and change his build? Will he go into, say, Rocket and a Knight's Vow? Just try and really suppress after Stormplay potentially. Just all these little things could maybe make a huge difference to the beefcake line that is WSLG. And the Twitch is still behind, of course. The Khan is looking a little bit tanky, but yeah, still kill. Cloud Drake in 12 seconds, I presume they're going to give that up as well. And yeah,
there's a long way from Cloud Soul, so I see no reason to contest right now.
Yeah, that's the thing. Baron is the only thing they should think about.
Oh,
this is
okay. Here we go again. Mental Goals walking away with Sorry, it's going to get turned around, but I don't think you win this 1v2 either. It's a 1v3, even 1v4. But Towie is so damn strong, it doesn't matter.
Oh, I still think he wins, honestly.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you. They need, I mean, if Azir can continually put out damage, maybe. But he's only an item and a half. Jinx is the one here with the actual power right now.
And yeah, even though he's sitting on 2 items, he doesn't kill this Mundo, and that one very, very shortly. And here comes the potential Baron setup. And yeah, it's just, if this Baron goes down, I'm here for an SK, but the playoff hopes on the line. They just have to try and keep calm and just try and contest this Baron. They know they're on it.
Well, the Sejuani is so strong, she can tank it for ages. Twitch has got Blade of the Ruin King, which means he's not the worst at this, but they're going to pull away, try and bait NSK into a fight, and they find Hillander straight away. The teleport's coming in behind, and that means Mundo's going to be here. The Blast Plat is something, it's a good ult from the side of the Amumu, but it means nothing, as this Mundo is just running forwards. He's a juggernaut, he's a titan, and these cleavers are claiming lives. Jinx went down in the end to Sejuani, and they're going to turn right back around to this Baron with 2 kills to their name. No jungler for the side of NSKA, and surely that means a free Baron for WSLG.
Yeah, I can't see a way. Okay, the wrong part of the item comes through. I understand why he's built that, but yeah, He needs to try and cut the Ewan. It's this midget definitely does go really crazy. But I'm just thinking of where the Victor has got Lich Bane as well. Twitch will have 700 gold. Twitch is still very poor, actually. Of the figure of it.
He's a long way down in CS, 2 kills to his name, but it is still some 70 CS behind this Jinx, who is going towards that last whisper. You assume the it'll be Mortal Reminder,
yeah.
which will be the last whisper upgrade to get those grievous wounds. Especially there's Warmog, Sejuani, it's the Mundo, just in general, who's actually gone towards a Bramble Vest as well, knows where the damage threat really is in this game. WSLG looking more and more like they will be punching their ticket to this playoff best of 5.
Well, also if you think of the number value, I believe the way it works, 20% armor penetration, and then Raimundo is set, so he's got at least right now. So he's got 177 armor, and you're punching 20%. So only 34. You're taking him. I just feel like this wounds, the executions would have been much better, but you can see why he has it.
It's so neat.
It's just going to take a lot to punch through.
Well, either way, the Baron push continues. Jinx is clearing in the mid lane. She's got mana. She can do it for a while, but all the way it's a 1-3-1. Azir trying to clean up in the top side. Mordekaiser gets hit by the ult there. Does manage to flash his way out. The Merc Tread saving his life, at least briefly. But that means this tier 3, the inhibitor, exposed. And that means WSLG now already having broken the base. It's going to get harder from here. They couldn't hold on to that. The Rift Herald charge from earlier, if you remember, already took down most of the health bar there. It meant that it was going to go down to a stiff breeze. And with their jobs complete, they're going to look for a reset.
Yeah. Victor still pushing to the top lane as well. I wonder if Twitch will pick up the red buff. He's going to sit on 2 items at least. That's something. Jinx does have cushioners.
That's a big deal.
Yeah, I mean, it potentially, if they do overdive, you never know what will happen.
But what is overdiving at this point? Turret shots mean, let's be polite here, mean very little to the side of a Mundo with 3 items and a Sejuani with 2.
I mean, he's only 5,000 ahead. Like, it's not...
Only 5, yeah. 5,000 gold's nothing. Not at all.
I mean,
not at 25 minutes.
Jungle's 3.7, mid 2. I mean, Jinx still 2,000 gold ahead. Still really trying. Greg Baron really, really trying here. But yeah, this top lane deficit is just so huge. But yeah, but I guess the most exciting thing now is seeing how much cooldown reduction is taken off with the Cloud Drakes.
I don't know whether NSKA will want to contest this third Cloud Drake. I have to imagine not. It would be potentially a little suicidal. At least Executioners is up for Jinx. That's something. But the Mordekaiser is anemic, is rusted armor at this point. He's no gleaming Knight of Darkness, and this Amumu would be going in, but it'd be a one-way trip, and he's down 3 levels, so the smite fight would be very unfair, and it's not even going to matter. Cleanly picked up, no contest. Amumu, though, has to flash away from the Glacial Prison. That bush going up to your Raptor bit is too far, my friend. Gets hit by a cleaver, and those soldiers from Azir mean absolutely nothing. Tickling the Mundo. Tickling.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, avoid stuff might be needed instead of Oleander. No, I don't even think it matters, honestly. It's just kind of whinging for the sake of it. But I mean, looking at the cooldown reduction as well of the Cloud Souls, I mean, 50 seconds on Windows ult, 56 on the Glacial Prison. Victor Chaos Storm is only 49.
I think Mundo lost more HP from throwing his cleavers and the damage that does to yourself. Oh my days, never mind. Curly takes half his HP bar as Twitch opens up. I'm not sure you want the Death Grasp onto the Mundo there, Mental Lord. That could have been a bit of a mistake. And yeah, I just saying, I think Taui throws his cleaver, when he throws his cleavers, does more damage to himself than when people are attacking him right now. He is that damn tanky.
And a 44-second ultimate.
Yeah, that's great. That's just what everybody wanted. 3 Cloud Souls to his name, level 16. I'm not sure he's even going to hit the point where that 4 Cloud Soul Mundo is a thing, but we're going to see the smacks go in. Actually, he takes a lot of damage at the minute. Can they actually get a game? No, the Super Mega Death Rocket does get stopped. And look at the Twitch in the backline doing a lot of work. Actually, no, Mundo did fall down, but Twitch is free firing. Jinx is alive but had to flash and heal. It's a 1 kill to 3 lead as Kraft Arctic Assault over the wall. Bauer is invisible and the minions are pushing on these towers. Jinx desperately trying to clean up alongside Curly. They're thinking about ending this at WSLG, but they're going to be careful because that was a big command from Azir to claim the life of the Rakan, and it will force WSLG away, but not before a Nexus tower does fall.
Well,
I
you know
thought that Mundo was unkillable, but he did fall.
Yeah, we know one thing. Mundo, if he can bleed, he can die. And, yeah, he definitely didn't go down, just thought he was too tanky. But yeah, it does take 3 lives to do it, but it's a shining light. You know, they are able to pick up 3.5 items on this Jinx. I mean, she's nearly 4 items. That could be potentially
She got the shutdown as well, which is a massive deal.
Yeah, he's almost 4 items. 650 gold. He must be... Oh, I was going to say he could have backed, but no, with the Baron up, he's not able to. That's a shame. He is 4 items.
Are they thinking this is their time to fight, you wonder? Thornmail completed, though, for this Mundo this time. It will just be a mere Bramble Vest for this fight, and maybe that is a big enough deal. Jinx has no real healing in her kit outside of course, the bloodlines from her runes, so she could end up just killing herself on that Mordekaiser, or not Mordekaiser, on that Mundo if she's not careful.
Yeah, and... Yeah, I don't even want to look at the top in gold, actually. I don't even want to. Disgusting amounts of gold out of this window, but yeah, Jinx not able to pick up the 4 items. It looks like they're just going to give it. Baron,
Yeah.
I mean, it's somewhat sensible. You know, you lose a series, I can understand that with R1
And Mordekaiser is split pushing 1v4 in the bot side, but he's fine. I mean, it's going to take more than an apple a day to keep that doctor away. It'll be more like an orchard at this point.
Yes, and yeah, probably drunk. Actually, can't even drunk of apples. I'm thinking of grapes, but yeah, I mean,
You can do apple cider. That's a thing. As Byron is getting run down, not quite sure why he thought he would walk up to this Mundo. It's just going to get shut down. The doctor is in, preparing to do some surgery on this target, on this Targonian. Apologies, and that means that everybody dies. The Twitch claims the Amumu is just a sun turret there as a measly replacement for a true Nexus tower. Kraft takes a fair amount of damage, but is laughing in the face of the army of the dead from this Azir, who gets a decent shove in, but it's not towards any towers, and Jinx get charmed up, but big rockets in the backline. But look where that Mundo is keeping away from all the fights, can't fight it, but that's a good pickup at least by the Mordekaiser onto the Twitch, but the Nexus is exposed. This is looking like GG. This is looking like world save live stream. But wait, no, this Jinx isn't done yet, but can she get through the tankiness? She can't. I was about to say maybe she could do it. She can't.
Oh, so sad.
Byron's here, but it's not going to be enough. It's GG for Ward Saves Live Screen. They don't need a 4th Cloud Drake. They don't need a Cloud Soul. They're going to a best of 5, and they're looking hungrily at a spot potentially in Group B.
Yeah, just it's like tanks win at the end of the day. Camping that Mordekaiser 2-10 in the end. Yeah, definitely not both that pick to 7. I just feel like maybe this will show teams in the future that Mordekaiser is strong. People think, you know, it's just, I feel like he's a bit of a peep. But yeah, I'd say congratulations to WSLG. A well-deserved 2-1. Do not get haunted by the reverse view. Again, commiserations to NSKA. Unfortunate.
Massive. Yeah, it's unfortunate for them, and like they played well. I mean, like massive props to particularly the side of Gragnos Baron, who tried his hardest in the Jinx alongside Byron to do some work in that bot lane. Curly put up some good damage numbers as well, but it just wasn't enough in that last game. And look at the Mundo here. This is also Mundo. This is the tank. 23,500 damage. The next highest was Azir at nearly under 18,000. That's how much damage that Mundo was doing. True carry threat from the top lane on that massively tanky pick.
I would have loved to have seen like a Witsend Tiamat type thing. Just I don't know. Maybe that would have been a bit in. I don't know. But,
probably a little bit. I mean, also I think Mundo is more of an AP threat actually, so you probably want to go towards AP on him.
Just thinking.
I mean,
yeah, maybe
potentially.
but the fact that Sejuani was only 400 gold behind Mundo, that's insane.
7-1 and 11 on that champion. 215 farm. Super well played by Kraft. Like, we are praising the Mundo because he was the beneficiary of a lot of those early kills, but who set them up? It was Kraft.
Yeah, it was Kraft. Yeah,
and it was 2 kills onto Mental God before just over 4 minutes. He teleported back in to die. He was 0-4-0 before he even looked at getting on the scoreboard properly. Just exceptionally well played by the Mundo and the Sejuani. Real top jungle carry performance.
Yeah, and I was just thinking to myself, I'm just a bit unsure, really, at the moment. Thinking, I thought Bowers, even in the loss, played pretty well last game. Kraft this game setting up early. It's tough. A tough MVP shot, that's for sure.
I think I'd probably still give it to the Mundo, only because it was in the end how he played the lanes, but I could understand an argument for Sejuani, for Kraft, who played those early ganks exquisitely. In fact, that is a really tough call. Maybe we'll leave that up to the community. Maybe we'll leave that up to you guys. But for us here on the cast, it's been an absolute pleasure. And we wish Ward Save Live Green the best of luck as they go into a best of 5 versus one of Group B's teams. But until then, see you. Good night. Well done to both teams. And we'll catch you very soon.
Take care, guys.
A tragedy, I'm a beautiful disaster. A reckoning, you wonder how I got this way. You think I'm someone to be saved, someone to clean up and tame. Oh, some things never change, never change. Oh. You think I would look pretty on your arm once you cover up my bruises and battle scars, but it always ends the same. Can't bear the things I've had to face, got you crying on your knees in pain. Oh, some things never change, never change. Oh, you'll break your back to make me feel again, suffocate to make me breathe again, lose your mind from endless pain. Some things never change, never change. Oh, redemption never came. I stopped asking for forgiveness, cause you should know only fools tread where the angels fear to go, but you keep trying to get too close. Save myself by turning into stone, so save your judgment cause you just don't know. But some things never change, never change. Oh, they say I should feel guilty and change my ways, leaving crumpled bodies in my wake. Swear I didn't mean to make them break, swear I didn't mean to make them break. But they're so delicate and so mundane, and they keep coming like a moth to a flame. Oh, some things never change, never change. You'll break your back to